Special comments from Bowen Lockwood here this afternoon as we get set for this encounter between Central District, the Bulldogs, and Port Magpies. Looking forward to this one. It should be an absolute ripper. A pretty healthy crowd, John Nankivell, as I look around the ground.
Very nice, isn't it? You'd say that all the supporters have come out. It's a big clash, as we said, a lot of rivalry between these two sides. The stand here full of Central supporters, and they're going to have a great day.
John, it's your first game with Life FM. I'm going to let you take the opening bounce.
Thanks, Doug. One down the ruck there by Sculler, but straight to the Port Adelaide player in Brown. His handball was good, and Port get the first kick out towards half forward with the marks taken by Taylor. We spoke about this young fella before the game. He kicks up towards the forward 50 arc and picks out Waterhouse. And Clive Waterhouse, the Port Adelaide Premiership player and former Fremantle footballer, kicks inside 50. Pack flies. At the back it comes to McCabe, the former Central District junior. He hands it off to the run of Quentin Graham, who from 45 from defensive goal boots out towards the wing where the mark is taken by Bello. He goes one way, then the other way, tries to run off Funk. In the end, kicks up towards half forward. Ball goes over the Pack's head, but the umpire's pulled out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Central District.
Central District's now with the free kick, 60 metres out from goal. I'll pick him out in just a moment. It is, well, we'll get his, it's a nice looking kick too, nice centering kick up from behind, big leap from behind. The long sleeve Daniel Shell couldn't take the mark, the ball's on the ground, and the umpy comes in and says it will be mine. Umpires today in charge of this game, we've got Tim Pfeiffer, Daniel Cowell and Anthony Mead. There's the ball up. Tony Brown's got it now for Port Magpies. They're going towards the northern end, kicking into the breeze here, beautifully trapped. That was quite superb there by Rock Harry, the former Woodville West Torrens boy. Goes out towards the wing, Ross Funky, boy that played at Richmond and also Melbourne, kicks down towards half forward, push in the back. There will be a free kick there, has to be a free kick for that one, and it is a Port Adelaide free, and the boy with the free out there is
Archie.
It is Corey Archie. He's playing across half forward, and he comes left footer, looking down here for his teammate, and he's found him too. It's the boy deep in the pocket in big Nick Butler who's taken the mark. About 40 metres out from goal, hemmed in against the boundary line. It'll take a magnificent kick to put this one through, but we'll get a quick comment from Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, that's definitely a pretty hard pocket to kick him from. I've been in that situation and haven't come off well too many times.
And he comes now, lines up for goal. The breeze is holding it up. Goal umpire looks at that one as it goes right across the face of goal. A hand pass out of a pack there by big Paul Scholar. Got it across there to a teammate in Richard Cochran, but it's going to beat him across the line. There will be a throw-in on the half-forward line, on the 50-metre line, in fact, with Port Magpies in attack. The breeze appears to be coming slightly across the ground, so I guess that would be a northeasterly. So it's one of those interesting breezes in the middle of winter. John Nankivell.
Back into play. Archie was doing the ruck work for Port Adelaide. He got caught behind. Handball out from one of the Gowans was good. And they're away and running now Central through Slade. He kicks up towards this grandstand wing. Not a good kick. Chopped off by Fitzgerald for the Magpies. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Spots up Funky. He takes the mark and he's away. Good strong kick towards forward 50. Coming out on the lead and taking the mark there was Stevens for Port Adelaide. Scott Stevens, who Bowen's been in some fantastic form this season and has kicked a number of goals, certainly over the last couple of years too, with the Port Adelaide Magpies. From the Sydney Swans, originally his kick right to the square, and that's a great mark in the middle of the pack by Clive Waterhouse. And about 3 Central players sandwiching him in, and he's taken the grab. And Bowen Lockwood, great stuff from the former Fremantle player.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they're moving the ball well, Port Adelaide. Some great delivery there, and they're going to capitalise here.
You would think so. From point-blank range, Clive Waterhouse puts it through. No mistake, that's the first goal on the Crazy John scoreboard. Central, one goal, well, Port Adelaide, should I say, 1 goal straight. Central get to score, 3.5 gone.
Fantastic atmosphere out here at Elizabeth. As I look round the ground, there are people everywhere. Conditions are good. The wind is blowing, but it's not a howling gale or anything like that. So as John said, 3.5 minutes gone. The Magpies lead 1 goal straight 6. Central's yet to score. A quick comment from Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, I'm just noticing how much bigger this ground is than all the other SANFL grounds. You know, the Ponderosa, they call it, Dog Park.
Do you really notice it when you're playing out there, Bowen?
I think if you're on the ball, you do. You'll be blowing out some candles at the end of the game. You get found out pretty quickly.
And as a commentator, you notice it too, because you can't see down the other end.
That's it.
The action back in the centre of the ground, taken away now by the Port Adelaide, Port Magpies. Comes out now to this young lad in Stevens. He looks Taylor. Why am I saying Stevens? It's Taylor. Goes down towards the half-forward line, and it's Waterhouse on the lead. He's got the mark too. He'll kick from 55 metres. He'll be going into the teeth of this breeze, so I doubt that I think it's going to be...
kick, though.
This is a phenomenal kick going into the breeze. He's put it through for a minus score. In fact, he's kicked the entire score for the match so far. Port Magpies 1-1-7. Central District yet to score. The Crazy John scoreboard. 5 minutes into the opening quarter. Let's go round the grounds. And first of all, with thanks to National Wireless two-way radio, let's try Ben Pittman at Prospect.
5 minutes into the first quarter here, and North Adelaide have started quickly there. 2 straight 12, and Sturt are yet to score, so the Roosters are up by 12 points about 5 minutes into the first quarter. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Severton.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, if you can hear me all right. It's 6-minute mark here at 30, and the Eagles are 1 goal, Westies 1 point. Now it's back to Gav at the studio for an update from Noarlunga.
Yeah, thank you, Brady. We've lost Ben Footner down at Noarlunga, so I'm keeping touch with him. And at the 4-minute mark, South Adelaide 1 straight goal. Glenelg yet to score, and it's back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
And the action back here at Elizabeth. You might need Channel 2 on your main mic there, Gab. Not to worry, but we'll stay with the action here, John Nankivell. What's happening? It's on the half-forward line. Port Magpies in attack, and Tony Brown's got it.
He has got a free kick. He gave it across to Jeremy Clayton. Two of the moving on ballers there. Kicks inside 50, thumped down by the central player. Officer couldn't handle it. Now a handball out there. Went straight to Elstone for Port Adelaide, the former Hawthorn player. Kicks out to the lead, and Clive Waterhouse, he's been everything. It's about his 4th grab. He's going to have his 2nd shot for goal. And Bowen Lockwood, he's the absolute live wire up there for Port Adelaide.
Oh, it's definitely dangerous when you get Clive Waterhouse firing early. He's one of those confidence players, and when he turns it on, he's one of the best in the business, I'll tell you. And he's a speedster, and he can kick. So if he gets his confidence up, he could rip this game apart.
There's a lovely kick there too from Elstone, just right out in front on the chest for Waterhouse as he comes in to go for his 2nd goal. Port's 2nd. Doesn't look bad off the boot. He's just pushed it a bit in the end, and it drifted way across and goes through for 1 point. So he's still got all the score on the board, Waterhouse. And on the Crazy John scoreboard, it's Port 1-2-8. Central's yet to score. 6.5 gone first term.
Yeah, it's a tough breeze he was kicking into there.
Yep.
It's not the Adelaide Oval, but the Seagulls are out here at Elizabeth. Look at them down there, getting set for a feed later on. I think it's just an anticipation at the moment. Waiting now for the ball. Where is it? It's cross half back here. Off to Hyde, goes in short. Looks like, is that McCabe out there? Goes in with another short kick. It's all Central District at the moment. Taken here by Richard Cochran, son of Richard Senior, very obviously. A hand pass on now to Tyson Hay, but his kick is not such a good one. And big, this boy's been impressive. He's on the Crows list. Big Ivan Maric has taken the mark, around about 200 centimetres tall. I think they called him the Brute. And he's a big lump of a leg. Down towards the wing. Rock Harry went up, couldn't take the mark. Picked up here by Clayton. Probably the early favourite for the McGarry medal. He got it across there to Taylor. Another hand pass comes out here. Here's a chance now for Port Magpies. What's come out of this? Ball, cried the Central's people. But it was good umpiring there. The hand pass went out to Clayton. He in turn drops the ball in short, and the mark's taken by Jacob Surgeon, the young Port power player, who again drops the ball in short. And it's Corey Archie on the lead, has taken the mark. 40 metres out from goal. And Port Adelaide at the moment, Bowen Lockwood, looking most impressive.
Yeah, and their delivery of the ball's been fantastic. I haven't seen Mr. Archie in this situation before, though. I've only seen him taking marks down the other end, so we'll see if he's got a backman-style kick on him still.
There's probably a few forwards who don't mind him being up there at centre-half forward. As he comes in, lining up for goal. I reckon he's a little bit too far out to score into this breeze. Could be wrong. He's got onto this one nicely. He's executed it beautifully in his return game after injury. So the two key forwards are firing at the moment. Waterhouse and Archie. Port Magpies at 2-2-14. Central District yet to score. 8 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. The Crazy Johns match of the day coming to you live from Elizabeth. Let's see if we can get some more action from around the grounds in just a few moments. And Gav, I think you might be making some phone calls down to Noarlunga, so I'll let you line that one up just to find out what's happening down there in the game between South and Glenelg. So let's go around the grounds first of all, and we're all set to go. And here's Ben Pittman first up at Prospect.
8 minutes into the first quarter here at Prospect, and it's the Roosters up by 12 points. North Adelaide 3 goals straight, 18. Leads Sturt 1 straight, 6. Now throw it down to Brady Dill at Severton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Westies and the Eagles having a good game here at the moment. Whitwell West Torrens 1-1-7, leading West Adelaide 2 points. Now here's Gav at the studio for an update from Noarlunga.
Thank you, Brady. Yes, at the 7-minute mark down at Noarlunga, South Adelaide 1 straight goal to Glenelg, 1 goal 2. Back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
Well, plenty of action down here. I don't know whether you're hearing it as the boys were going around the grounds. The Central people were not amused. I think what had happened, the umpire had not paid the, or he had paid the advantage, But as it turned out, it wasn't really the advantage to Port Magpies, and so he brought the ball back, but it was fairly delayed in the whole process, if all that makes sense. 2-2 to Port Magpies, 14 Central District yet to score, and a pretty vocal crowd here. They're getting rather excited, but at the moment it's going to be a throw. They don't normally get that excited for a throw-in, do
No,
they, out
don't,
here?
but I think they felt Marco Bello may have been taken high. But at the end of the day, no free kick given. Ball back into play. One down the front position there by Schooler. Coming through Waterhouse. He's been fantastic. Got a handball out there to Jeremy Clayton. Another good pass up forward to a leading player. And it's right there on the chest of Stevens. And the delivery, Bowen Lockwood, has just been sensational. Elstone, Clayton, Brown to the forwards has just been spot on.
Yeah, and on the flip side, some of the Central's delivery hasn't been so good, and it's really cost them.
It has indeed. We saw earlier a kick go inside forward 50. Nobody there but Big Marich who took the mark. Now Scott Stevens has the ball in the left forward pocket. Kick from about 35 on a fairly severe angle. He's kicked it very nicely though. Very nicely indeed. And Port Adelaide away. 3-2-20. Central yet to score. We've gone 10 minutes in the first term here at the Elizabeth Oval. And that was certainly perhaps a goal of the day candidate, guys. For TJM Serious 4-wheel drive goal of the day candidate.
Fantastic stuff. What a start, hey? If this is a dream start, kicking into a breeze. Central's yet to score. Port 3-2-20. I mean, I don't think John Cahill would have even dreamt this last night.
They've got Big Marich dropping back into the hole, and I think he's definitely doing some damage there as well.
There's the ball up to get play underway. Getting up there very high was Marich. He's been most impressive. And it looks like he's been a good player for the Crows to recruit. He's not ready to play AFL yet, but goodness me, he's showing some real good signs. The ball coming back here to Port Magpies. Jacob Surgeon, who of course has played with the Power. He's another boy like yourself, Bowen, with Central District, now across with Port Magpies. As in he comes, kicks the ball. The Breeze is certainly going to hold that one up, and chipping in nicely in front there is the underrated Quinton Grave. I think he can get under the guard. That's what I'm saying of the opposition. He's such a wonderful player. He's strong, he's tough, and he's skillful. Goes out towards the wing there. It's going to be Daniel Healy. He would be about 60, 70 metres out from goal, and it is a prodigious kick. Gets underneath it just that little bit. Daniel Shell must get a free kick. Will not get a free kick, but it's a goal to Central District. A goal to Central District. It's been kicked there by Kane Officer as it came off hands, and number 20 and Kane Officer has kicked the first goal for the Bulldogs here. It's taken them 12 minutes into the opening quarter, and the Doggies are 1 goal straight, 6 on the Crazy John scoreboard, but Port Magpies 3 goals to 20. Exciting stuff though all round. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, and that was a smart move by Healy to kick long there with the breeze, and he is a smart player, so, and that paid off.
Back in the middle, what a roar from the Central fans. They enjoyed that first goal. As Scholar in the ruck, he's been winning the hit outs. He gets it down to McCabe. He was wrapped up by Surgeon, but he managed to get a handball out to Chris Gowans. Long kick towards forward 50. Not great delivery, but Cowan was good to grab it on the bounce. He gave to Officer, in turn to James Gowans. Back to Bello. He gets around his opponent in car, kicks towards the goals and bounces it through. Well done, Marco Bello. And that is certainly a TJM Serious 4-wheel drive goal of the day candidate. And all of a sudden, Central right back in this game. They're 2 straight 12. Port 3-2-20. 12 and a half gone in this first quarter.
Let's go round the grounds now for National Wireless two-way radio. And first up, it's Ben Pittman at Prospect.
13 minutes into the first quarter here, and it's the Roosters up by 11 points. North Adelaide 3 straight 18, leading Sturt 1 goal 1-7 about 13 minutes into the first. Now it's right down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
Yeah, approaching the 14-minute mark here at Theberton, the Eagles 1-1, Westies 3 points. Now here's Gavin in the studio for an update from Noarlunga.
11-minute mark at Noarlunga. South Adelaide 2 straight goals, 12 to Glenelg, 1 goal to 8. Back to the boys at Elizabeth.
Good on you, Gavin. And Luke Coward has taken a mark at centre-half forward. He's taken it right on the 50-metre line. In fact, about 48 metres out. He'll kick from 50, probably 51 metres. And a chance now to bring up the third goal for Centrals. What a transformation after Port dominated the first 10 minutes of this game. Luke Coward now, the state centre-half forward from this year. It's a big, high kick. It is an absolute beauty, and he's put that one through. 13 and a half minutes into the opening quarter, and Central District is alive. The Dogs are barking. Port still lead though, 3-2-20. Central's 3 goals straight, 12. Only 14 minutes into the opening quarter. It could be a shootout. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, well, you know, I think the fact that this is Central's home ground, I think is really helping them. They know how to play this. They train here, and yeah, they can hit back so quickly like that, especially with all those good on balls.
A lesser team, I reckon, would have found it difficult to have come back, particularly against Port Bowen.
Yeah, without doubt. When you've got big cows down there, the Sponge, he's one of that got some of the best hands in the league. So.
The Sponge and Big Cows, interesting. As the action back in the centre of the ground.
With Chris Gowans, it was. He gave a handball to McCabe, both of them under pressure. McCabe got the handball out to Slade. He's wrapped up, though, there by Fitzgerald, and the umpire comes charging in and says, I'll bounce it. It's Port Adelaide, 3-2-20. Central 3 straight 18. It's been a real shootout early on. Coming through from the side, doing some ruck work there was Elston for Port Adelaide. Again, there'll be a bounce on this grandstand side wing. Able to clear it out the middle of the ground. The U-Dogs chant starts here at Elizabeth Oval there. Very vocalist. We'll take 3. The umpire throws it up. Scholar down to Chris Gowans. He's wrapped up by Elston. Got a little toe poke forward to Hopwood, whose kick was smothered. Scholar went up, couldn't bring it down. Taylor in there trying to pick it up now. He's got it. Thinking about a handball. Better do it quick. He does now to his teammate there, who's wrapped up in the tackle. Central fans scream for holding the ball. Again, there'll be a bouncing. Very tough and hard early here at Elizabeth Oval.
Waiting now for the ball to get underway. It's a fantastic game of footy. It's one of the best I've seen this year. Up over the top there, it may have been Hopwood, or was it Healy? Taken away, though, here by Tommy Carr. He's got the hand pass away there, and he got it out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes short and finds his inspirational captain in Tony Brown, the former safe. And we find it's going to be the Magpies now going forward, right up in towards the teeth of goal. But Tyson Hay, deep in defence, has taken a good mark. He transfers play across there to Graham. Graham drops the ball in short into the little school teacher, the boy from Craigmore. The teachers out there, they tell me, in Matty Slade. In he comes now. There's his kick. Not such a good one, though. And getting underneath it this time is the young player there in Taylor. He missed what he may have taken normally. And we find it's Steinberger who gets the kick right up and towards the teeth of goal. Tim Pfeiffer, the umpire, keeping a close look at things. It spills out there to Daniel Shatter. Snapshot for goal. And the former Fremantle and Adelaide forward is just off target with that one and puts it through for a minor score. Excitement aplenty down here. Port Magpies 3-2-20. Central's 3-1-19. 16 minutes of the quarter gone. The Crazy Johns match of the day. Bowen Lockwood, you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Daniel Shell, you know, one out in the goal square, so if they can get it in quick.
Good mark taken at half-back by Marich. He handballs over the top to his teammate there in Elstone, who kicks up towards the wing position. Not a great kick, and Steinberger takes the mark. Last year's Jack Odie medalist. Kicks with a left foot up towards half-forward. Good mark taken there for Central by Slade. He wastes no time, gives to his skipper in Healy, who in turn handballs over the top to Big Cowan. He couldn't take it under pressure, tackled. Handball comes out from McCabe in the James Gowans direction. His handball was too hard for Schooler. Has to go back and get it. Now Clayton tackles him well. Got before he got it away to Slade. He kicks up inside 50. Good work by Di Pasquale. No, Officer held on to it. Well, it was a juggled attempt. Officer had it the first grab. Di Pasquale got in there. He thought he'd spoiled it, but in the end, Bowen Lockwood, it was a Mark II officer. And plays on immediately and spots out a man all on his own, about 10 metres out from goal. Paul checking there, and it looks like, is that McCabe? Who's going to be having the shot for goal? It is. And yeah, Bowen Lockwood, a bit of loose checking there from Port Adelaide.
Yeah, and they're starting to fire up already. The Gowans are already on the lip, so we've got a game on our hands.
We certainly have, as Luke McCabe for Central's fourth, makes no mistake, and he shouldn't have from 15-8 on the slightest of angles, and on the Crazy John scoreboard. Central hit the front. Who would have thought that 5 minutes ago? It's the Dogs 4-1-25, Port 3-2-20.
Let's go around the grounds again for National Wireless two-way radio. And first up at Prospect, here's Ben Pittman.
18 minutes in here, and the Roosters are up by 18 points. North Adelaide 4 goals, 125. Sturt 1 goal, 1-7. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theverton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Approaching the 19-minute marker at Theverton. It's a good old-fashioned Eagles-Westies scrap here. Woodville West Torrens Eagles 1-2. Westies 3 points. And now we'll throw back to Gav at the studio for an update from Noarlunga.
Thank you, Brady. Yes, at Noarlunga, it's South Adelaide. 4 goals straight, 24 to Glenelg, 1 goal, 2-8. And that's at the 16-minute mark. And now it's Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
It's on the 50-metre line for Centrals. They've taken over to dominate this game. Luke Slattery caught there by a stack of Centrals players. A hand pass to Steinberger. He'll line up from 35 metres. He's off target with that one, though, and puts it through for a minor score. Let's check the scoreboard again for Crazy Johns. Central District 4-2-26. Port Magpies 3-2-20. Port kicking into the breeze, kicked the first 3 goals of this opening quarter. It was a Incredibly quick start as the kick in now. Eichler is the boy kicking it in. Eichner at least, and the mark has been taken by the big beanpole there in Scholar. Fed the hand pass out to Bello, got it across there to Daniel Healy. He centres the ball. Not such a good kick, this one, and the mark is taken here by the player in Morrison, the boy from Southport, up there on the Gold Coast, playing his first year with Port Magpies. And it's quite interesting. I notice he's listed as 29 years of age, so a fairly old recruit. His kick, though, was rather poor, and dropping in nicely and taking the mark is Scholar.
Who gives off to Daniel Healy, who unleashes one of his prodigious punts inside 50. Shell all on his own to Clayton. Courage dropping across the pack and taking the mark, and that is an auto-pro. Courageous player, if ever there was one. He goes short and finds Funky, who in turn kicks up towards half-back, where Tony Brown has taken the mark, the Port Adelaide skipper. And he kicks out towards that outer side ring. He's got a man waiting there for him in Elstone. The midfielder who's been busy today for the Port Adelaide Magpies, been a good pickup in the last couple of years. Kicks up towards Waterhouse. He's died out since the ball hasn't been down that forward 50, obviously, but comes back and he's the first player to grab it. He's already kicked a couple of goals today. Now at least one goal today, and he's now got the ball about 55 from goal. Probably kicking to that breeze. It might test him, though we said the same thing about Archie and he put it through. So we'll just wait to see what Waterhouse can do. He's off and playing on now, goes with the right foot kick towards the goal square. The pack forms. Scholar out in front, was up, couldn't take the mark, and in the end the ball dribbling along the boundary line and central through Symes, and then on to Chris Gowans. Look like they're going to run it out through Tyson Hay.
Here comes Hay now. He's got that lovely left foot kick of his, goes down towards the wing. It eludes all players. Will be picked up though here eventually, and players a little bit indecisive. Eventually comes out to Fitzgerald. He in turn goes with another hand pass. Port Magpies not playing with the same decisiveness, but that's because Centrals have lifted their game up over the top there. Big pack of players. It was Graham. Couldn't take the mark. It would have been a Mr. Clip mark of the day had he been able to take it. It spills out here to Lees, the left footer. He's a very neat player, but his kick was ill-directed, and chipping it in nicely, chipping it off nicely was Matty Slade. Lovely disposal down towards half forward. It was just a little bit too far out in front of Slade. Eichner was good football. That's fantastic defensive work, and the ball's being knocked across the boundary line. He did that extremely well. Now, he was a Collingwood rookie a few years ago, and yet he's only played a couple of matches with Port Magpies. Found it hard to force his way into the team, I understand, young Stephen Eichner. And good to see him. He's been given an incredible job today on Daniel Shell. What a task, eh? You played with Daniel Shell, Bowen, or not?
No, I never played. He was at the Crows or Fremantle when I was there.
So the action down to back towards the wing. Big buckets. McKenzie's out here. The boy from Kapunda. What's he going to do? He goes with a hand pass across to Steinburn, who almost looked like a miniature Jason McKenzie, doesn't he? Just with the hairdo and so forth. But he's not. I thought I should clarify that.
Well, I wasn't sure.
No, we just make it easy for you, Bowen.
Ball back into play. It goes the way of Slade, who runs onto the advantage well. He has a bounce from 52 metres, kicks the ball up in the teeth of the goals. Funky there, can he get a fist on it? He does. Knocks it back towards the front of the goals, though. Eichner picked up the player we were talking about before. Kicks out wide, looking for Slattery, and it bounces about half a foot inside the boundary line. There'll be a throw-in forward 50 arc for Central.
That's where that phrase comes from, centimetre perfect.
Exactly. That was centimetre perfect. It's the boundary umpire. Right on the forward 50 arc, right half forward for the Dogs. Throws the footy back into play from behind. Graham got the fist down. Only went as far as Rock Harry for Port Adelaide. I love that name, Rock Harry. He gives it across to Clayton, who kicks to the defensive 50 where Tony Brown marks it. Goes out wide. He's got a couple of players to choose from. Mark taken by Christian Di Pasquale. Kicks out towards the wing where Daniel Lees has the football. Takes a mark, chips inside to the run of Clayton, who's run down from the last line of defence. Kicks from centre half forward up towards the top of the goals. Archie one-on-one. Getting in there and putting the fist was Eve Sivanella. Back towards the goals though, but off to Hyde. Desperate stuff. Runs it through for a rush behind. And on the Crazy John scoreboard, it's a 5-point goal game. Port 3-3, Central's 4-2. Nearly 23 gone first term.
Well, the Seagulls are just floating around at the moment. I think they are waiting for the break so that they can have some of the chips and all those leftovers. But let's go around the grounds and see what else is happening at the other venues. First of all, at Prospect, Ben Pittman.
23 minutes into the first quarter, and it's all North Adelaide. They lead by 36 points. The Roosters 7 goals, 143, leading Sturt 1 goal, 1-7. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theverton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. 24 minutes gone here at Theverton. The Westies have hit the front, 2-3-15. Eagles 1-2-8. Now here's Gav at the shootout. An update from Noarlunga.
21-minute mark at Noarlunga. South have got their straight boots on today. 5 goals straight, 30 to Glenelg, 2 goals, 4-16. Back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
Well, a free kick has been played. It looks like a Port Adelaide free kick, and that breeze has got something in it. You can probably hear it coming through our microphones here from Elizabeth. The Crazy Johns match of the day as young Michael Taylor gets ready to come on. Made his debut last week. University student, comes from Williamstown, so they'd be delighted out there.
He would have been the inclusion, I feel, fellas, for Arnott, who rocked out the last minute of course.
That's right. He's a former under-17 and under-19 captain with the Bulldogs too, so obviously comes with very, very good credentials. Plays it very, very hard. He's a good half-back on-baller type player. And the action at the moment is on the outer side of the ground, and that looks like Quinton Graham. One of the reasons I can tell that is that his socks are down. And he comes. He's a nice kick of the ball too. In towards centre half forward from behind. Morrison got his fist to it, the Port defender, across the half forward line for Central. So it will be picked up here by the player in Cowans. I'm getting all these nicknames mixed up here. The Sponge. As Daniel Shell tried to take the mark after the kick came in from Chris Gowans. Players are appealing for free kicks. Umpire Tim Pfeiffer says it's going to be 9 though. Only 25 metres out from the Central District goal. 5 points the margin here in favour of the Bulldogs. We've played 25 minutes into this opening quarter.
Umpire puts it down. It's Jeremy Clayton getting the clearing kick from defence. They've worked well, Port Adelaide. He found his skipper in Brown and he handballed to Clayton. A bit too hot for that player. Now charging through James Gowans. His kick was well smothered by Brown and he sees it out of play. James Gowans, always the competitor, trying to claim it was out of bounds on the full, but nothing doing there. But a slightly shorter haircut in his brother today, James Gowans. Chris is slightly wavier hair. James has gone almost the crew cut. That's a little bit longer as the ball comes back into play. Marek in front position for Port Adelaide, won that one down. Streaming through and grabbing the footy was Cochrane for Central. He was good to McCabe, who kicks up towards Shell. 2-on-1 there, but almost great mark, Shell. The Central fans furious he wasn't paid. Meanwhile, Leitner comes away with it. Handballs to his teammate there in Carr, and Port Adelaide are away to half back.
Carr now goes with the hand pass across there to Clayton. Clayton in towards centre half forward, but I think it's all Centrals here. Yes, the mark has been taken by Yves Sibonata across half back. Former forward, of course, has played centre half back the last couple of years and done it with distinction. Comes out to his vice captain and in fact the state captain in Heath Hopwood. Hollywood Hopwood out to Nathan Steinburner, and he is burning at the moment down the grandstand wing. Lovely pass. It was just a little bit too high in the end though for Chris Gowans, but Steinburner comes in and picks it up. Superb football, centering kick in the direction of Shell. Couldn't quite take the mark. It would have been a Mr. Cliff mark of the day had he got that one. And Port Magpies live another moment. And in relief, that is, comes out to Ross Funky wearing the long sleeves on the outer side of the ground. Takes one bounce, gets a bit of the fumbles, but still manages to recover as he gets it down towards half forward. A good, effective kick into the breeze. A kick off the ground here by Port Magpies. That player out there, a long way from here, but he's outnumbered 1-3. And eventually, Big Mackenzie has the ball. A centering kick for Centrals across half back, and the mark taken by Hopwood. And he in turn transfers play to the centre of the ground here to Graham.
Graham kicks well up inside 50. Shell diving out, couldn't take the mark. Eichner at the back was the first to mop up, gave it to Lees. He goes with a handball to Di Pasquale. He's at right half back and he kicks with the left foot into the middle of the ground where the mark's been taken for Port Adelaide. It was Carr. He handed off to the skipper in Brown. But the siren sounded, and at quarter time here at Elizabeth Oval, it's the Crazy Johns match of the day. And on the Crazy Johns scoreboard, it's Central's only narrowly 4-2-26, Port 3-3-21.
Fear, insecurity and guilt? Nancy Alcorn, founder of Mercy Ministries America, invites you to come and hear about real-life transformations that are taking place all over the world.
As you are. See the exquisite range at Clark the Jeweller. Clark the Jeweller, 115 Rundle Mall, right beside the fountain. Sponsors of this station.
Are you tired of listening to a computer when you phone your bank or mortgage broker? Then you're not with Home Loans Plus. Talk to a real person at Home Loans Plus. Call 8410-8777. That's 8410-8777. Station sponsor, Home Loans Plus.
Welcome back. It is the second quarter of this game at Elizabeth. Port Magpies and Central District. We've got Central's leading 4-2-26. Port Magpies 3-3-21. And the Magpies to get a free kick down here midway between wing and half forward. Grandstand side. The grandstand is packed. There's a very, very good crowd. And he's got the binoculars on. He's the man up here, John Nankivell.
Thanks very much, Doug. It's going to be Jeremy Clayton. I almost didn't recognise. We had the long sleeves in the first quarter. He's gone for the short sleeves in the second term. Interesting to see how he starts the third. He's got the footy right in front of the interchange gate after the wayward kick out of defence from Central. Not a lot on offer. I'm looking at him now. He's almost throwing his hands in the air. He kicks towards half forward, and the kick didn't come off. Symes took the mark. Young Bradley Symes, the Port Adelaide power listed player, goes out to the wing where Quentin Graham's taken the grab. Kicks up towards the forward 58. Look for Waterhouse on the lead. Apparently Eichner coming out there to thunk the ball away from Cowan. It would have been Waterhouse on the lead last quarter. Cowan took the mark on that occasion. Kicks towards the top of the square. Oh, good defensive mark taken down there for Port Adelaide. Is that Clayton again almost?
I think it's Clayton.
He is. He's everywhere. He goes short and finds Elston and Porter away and running out of defence.
The amazing thing, I've written down a couple of Mr. Clip marks of the day. Three, in fact, so far in the game. Two of which are for Jeremy Clayton, who's one of the smaller players on the ground. Amazing. Down towards half forward. Look at this man, Clive Waterhouse. The reflexes there. Got the hand pass across there to his teammate in Taylor, who lost the ball. Just a little bit of a skill error there at the last minute. And we find Central's come out of the defence there. Marco Bello right in the centre of the ground. Hand pass comes across here now to Brad Symes, the young Port power player. Down towards half forward. Up from behind and thumping it away there was Mark Clayton, son of Bob, of course, who played a lot of football with the Maggies. Was it in the 60s and 70s? It was around about that anyway. And the umpire Tim Pfeiffer comes in and says it's going to be mine. It's on the half forward line on the grandstand side here at Elizabeth, in front of some shadows in rather sunny conditions, although the breeze is just that little bit nippy. There was the ball up, and it was taken away by James Gowans into his centre half forward, and the mark taken on the 50-metre line by his skipper, the former Saint, in Daniel Healy. He'll kick from about 52 metres, and a pretty interesting and entertaining start to the second quarter. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes of this quarter is going to be really important for the rest of the game. It's pretty close now, so if Daniel Healy can kick this, and if anyone on the ground can do it, it's probably him.
Healy from about 52 metres long kick. It is a good one. It's going to fade away. I think it'll land right on the behind line. Fist went up. Marich and Eichner were down there for Port. Nothing doing now. The ball comes out to Officer. Good handball to his teammate there, and Chris Gowans. Can he make something out of nothing? He can. Well done, Central, because it was almost on the cusp of being rushed for a point, but a quick handball from Officer, and Chris Gowans puts through Central's fifth goal. 5-2-32. Port 3-3-21. And Bowen Lockwood, just the skill of Chris Gowans on that occasion, really did make something out of absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with him then, actually. He was meant to give us something up in the box then, so I'll have to go down at half-time and remind him. He must have forgotten.
Chris Gowans, just looking at his career with Central District, it's been wonderful, hasn't it? That is his 189th goal with the club. And haven't he and James Gowans just been wonderful players for Centrals and just tremendous for the SANFL? But again, it's going to be Port coming away. It's Clayton getting yet another kick. Oh, spectacularly. Jeremy off to Hyde. Now, what has happened here? There's a free kick that's been paid, and I'm trying to work out why the free kick. That was a bit of a mystery, that one.
Might have been in the back, I'm not sure, but the umpire's paid the advantage.
He has paid the advantage. A short kick comes in, and Heath Hopwood takes it now. Centre half back for Centrals. Goes with the hand pass across to one of last year's premiership players too, and Brad Curry. Down towards the half forward line. That's a good mark. It's taken this time by James Gowans. Goes with the left foot. Comes out now to his captain in Daniel Healy. No doubt he'll go with the left foot too. I think he might get tackled here by Funky if he's not quick. No, just gets the kick in time, and it's a lovely looking kick to a centering kick. Oh, good mark. Good strong mark. Big Ivan Marich, deep in defence. Another contender from Mr. Clip. Mark of the day was just solid in defence there, and coming out of defence as he got it across there to Elstone, down towards the wing. The race is on, and Rock Harry and Heath Hopwood very close to the boundary line. And is it going to be a free kick? It's not. It's going to be a throw-in. But it's a willing encounter, but players are just going in, and they're just going full bore at the ball, Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, I think everyone lifts that extra 10% when it's Port Central, so hopefully it continues.
Ball back into play, left half forward for the Dogs. Schooler versus Marich, no clear winner. Working hard on hands and knees was the last goal scorer, Chris Gowans. but Mark Clayton has come in and held him up. He's going nowhere. Have a quick look at the Crazy John scoreboard at Central 5-2-32, Port 3-3-21, 5.5 gone second term. Schooler won it down the ruck, but it went straight to Clayton. It'd have to be close to BOG at the moment. His handball was fantastic to Funky. He's away and running. Kick up towards centre half forward. Just great so the player there and Taylor could run onto it. He goes over the top. Slattery, Luke Slattery has the footy from 45, pokes at the goals. With the breeze behind him, he splits the centre, and Port Adelaide coming back. They're 4-3-27, Central 5-2-32, 5 points the margin, 6 minutes gone by on Lockwood, and just some good movement there in that, I guess, on the grandstand side. Wigan, a good finishing from Luke Slattery.
Yeah, the boys are moving the ball well. I've played for both sides, so I don't know which ones are the boys at the moment.
Well, there may be a few listeners via the net, of course, listening in Crystal Brook, and you'd be delighted to see that one of your native sons in Luke Slattery was on fire then. Played with Hamley Bridge last year, came down and played a year with North Adelaide. Hamley Bridge last year and now with Port Magpies. We saw him kick 4 goals against Westies a few weeks ago, and he was most impressive, so much so that Tim Weatherall, our special comments man, gave him 3rd best on ground. As it's going to be Central's into attack this time. It's Bello, goes in short. There's his kick. Oh, he almost hit the trainer. He had him on the lead. Do we register that one as a stat? It's an auto-pro courageous play by that trainer. But the action now on the half-back line. This boy can play a bit, you know, young Taylor. He makes the odd mistake, but goodness, he's worth persevering with as he goes in short, gets it across to Tony Brown, his skipper. A lovely centering kick will find Mark Clayton. He feeds off a big long hand pass to Slattery again, about to be tackled by School. A lovely hand pass to Tony Brown, 48 metres out from goal. Magnificent point. You hold your breath and hope it's going to be a goal for the sake of the call. Let's get a quick comment from... I'll give the score first for Crazy John. Central's 5-2-32, Port Magpies 4-4-28. Quick comment from Bowen then around the grounds.
Yeah, I think that wind's up and down, so I think Tony Brown might have overcompensated then.
OK, around the grounds now for National Wireless two-way radio at Prospect. Here's Ben Pittman.
2 minutes into the second quarter and the Roosters are up by 30 points. North Adelaide 7 goals, 2-44, leading Sturt 2-2, 14 by 30 points. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theverton.
Thanks, Ben. 9.5 minute mark here at Theverton, and the Eagles are 4-2-26, leading West Adelaide 3-3-21. Now here's Gavin in the studio with an update from Nollunga.
Thank you, Brady. Yes, 5 minute mark at Nollunga. South Adelaide, 5 goals, 1-31 to Glenelg. 2 goals, 6-18, 13 points in favour of the Panthers. Back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
And Luke Cowan has got this shot for goal. He's got it about 35, 40 metres out. He'll be kicking into the breeze and it'll be coming across his body too. Sunny conditions here at Elizabeth. He's got the backdrop of, I was going to say the Waterhouse, but it's actually the Aquatic Centre in the background. In he comes, kicks for goal. It doesn't look too bad. I think the umpire has said it's gone through. Yes, it has. Luke Cowan has kicked his second goal. He's the first multiple goal kicker for the day. And it takes Centrals along to 6-2-38. Leading Port Magpies 4-4-28. The Crazy John scoreboard. And he's showing some good form at centre half forward, Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, the sponge, that was a great grab as well then. If they can get it in fast to him, I think he'd outmark anyone in the competition just about. So,
how do you rate him? I mean, he's one of those lads who looks so promising and so brilliant at times. How do you rate him?
I'll rate him as a fantastic player. He's one of the best hands in the competition. A great mark.
10 points the margin here at Elizabeth Oval. I think the umpire has picked out a free kick. Not too good. It's going the way of the Magpies. Maybe someone in the square too early. Surgeon gave it off to Wellstone. He kicks up towards the forward 50. Not a good kick on that occasion. It's chopped off and marked by Bradley Curry. He's got Waterhouse right with him, but he got his kick away out towards half-back. Mark taken there up in front by Slade. Waste no time. Kicks up to the wing position. Mark taken by Chris Gowans. He gives the run of Steinburner. He's away last year's Jack Odie medalist. Kicking up inside the 50. Out on the lead. Shell takes the good mark. 45 metres out. Tucked around in that right forward pocket. And Daniel Shell, who has no trouble taking the marks, no trouble presenting himself, but his kicking can sometimes let him down. We'll wait and see what he's going to do with this. He'll kick from about 52. Pokes towards the goals. It's not a bad kick distance-wise. Accuracy goes across the face. Cowan couldn't quite pull in the mark. As you heard the fans exclaim, the Central fans. In the end, the ball's gone out of bounds, left forward pocket for the Dogs, and they lead by 10 points. 10 minutes gone, second term.
Waiting for the throw-in now. Big crowd here at Elizabeth. It's a fantastic atmosphere, and maybe a few more people are out too because of the lack of the AFL matches this weekend. But even so, it's just wonderful to be here, part of this today, and we're seeing a fantastic game of footy. The margin at the moment is 10 points in favour of the Bulldogs. In fact, it's 11 points now. It's gone through for another minor score, so checking the Crazy John scoreboard, Central's 6 goals. 6 goals,
3, I think.
3 it is, yes, 39. Leading Port Magpies, 4-4-28. 11 minutes have gone in the second quarter, and coming down the grandstand wing there, we find it is Rock Harry. Kicks the ball in towards the half-forward line. An awkward bounce there for Corey Archie. Lets the Central defenders in. Sivanata fed the hand pass out. Intercepted by Slattery almost, as Big off to hide down there trying to pick up the ball, but there is going to be a throw-in eventually. It's about 35 metres around from the Port Magpies goal. They're kicking towards the southern end here at Elizabeth. The ground was bathed in sunshine. I had that phrase already in the mind, and then all of a sudden it went behind a cloud, did the sun. But not to worry. Here's a man who'll put a bit of sunshine in your life, John Nankivell.
Ball comes back into play deep inside Port's 50. Off the ruck, Stevens took it out, kicked it high in the air, going almost luckily into the arms of Surgeon, but he couldn't handle it. He snaps back towards the goals, though. Well done, Jacob Surgeon. That would drive a bit of a nail into the heart of his former Central's teammates. Kick came out to him, fumbled to mark, but recovered well. And 5-4-34 the Magpies go to Central's 6-3-39, 5-point ball game, 11.5 gone, second term.
Around the grounds for National Wireless two-way radio, here's Ben Pittman at Prospect.
6 minutes into the second quarter, and the Roosters up by 36 points. North Adelaide 8 goals to 50, leading Sturt 2 goals to 14. Now let's right down to Brady Dowell at Theberton.
Thanks, Ben. Approaching the 14-minute mark here, and Woodfield West Torrens Eagles 5-4-34, leading West Adelaide 3-3-21. And it'll probably be 6-4 in a minute after. No. Who is it? No. Yeah, Eagles 6-4. 40, leading West Adelaide 3-3-21. Here's Gav at the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
South are taking a command here. They're 25 points up at the 10-minute mark. South Adelaide 7 goals 2, 44. Lee Glenelg 2 goals 7, 19. And Doug, South have got the win this quarter.
South have got the win this quarter. Interesting, Gav. In fact, we're sort of playing for that Darley Kerry Cup ourselves, I think, Gav. So it'll be interesting to see what the end result will be down at Noarlunga. The action at the moment, though, is on the half-forward line here for Port Magpies. There's going to be a throw-in out there in front of the family-friendly area, right on the edge of that. It's probably about 80 metres around from the Port Magpies goal as the sun comes out. Beautiful conditions here at Elizabeth. The breeze is a little bit cool. 13 minutes of the quarter gone. It's Central 6-3-39, leading Port Magpies 5-4-34. And we're just waiting now for the ball to come back in from a... No, I thought a spectator had it there for a moment. It gives you a thrill, doesn't it, as a young kid, and you just happen to get a touch of the real football. Did you ever do that, Bowen?
Yeah, you sit behind the goals waiting for it to come all day, and then you get outmarked by someone that's 10 years older than you.
That doesn't matter, though. At least you're in the action.
That's it.
And at the moment, it's on the half-forward line here for Port, but it's going to be Matty Slade. He's had a good game so far. He got it across to Hopwood. Another hand pass comes out. It's one of the Gowans boys. Which one is it, John?
James.
Keep going, John.
James, it was with the shorter hair, gave back to Curry. He kicks up towards the wing position. Marriage was up high, couldn't take it. Waterhouse well up, that's a Lackner, pardon me, with the red hair, couldn't quite drag the ball in. Di Pasquale down there on hands and knees. Ball spills out now. Port and Central players wrestling for it. The umpire's still letting it go. And now here comes the handball out to Chris Gowans. He handballs over the top, and Central away and running now. Officer, I think it was, kicking inside 50. Great kick, finding Cowan, 48 from goal. He's kicked a couple already, Luke Cowan. He could probably kick this one too. He's a big kick of the footy. That's one's going to go right to the line, but right on the line again, as always today, is Jeremy Clayton. He's been absolutely everywhere for Port. He marked that ball, handballed it over the top to his captain there in Tony Brown. Well, the kick's going to come out and find Tony Brown, pardon me. I think it was Fitzgerald before he kicked the footy. Handball to Taylor from right half back, kicks up towards the half forward position. Taken well there by Tom Carr, kicks inside 50, out on the lead there, not able to do much, just trying to get a fist on it in the end was the Port Adelaide player. Off to hide, streaming away the football now for Central. That was Butler, the Port Adelaide player before. Came to Hopwood. He gave it to Chris Gowans, who in turn handballs centre half forward where Bellows got the football. He kicks up towards the top of the square. Cowan!
again.
Well done, big Luke Cowan. He's taken the mark. 25 out on a bit of an angle, but Bowen Lockwood, you wouldn't think this one would trouble him too much.
No, Luke Cowan, he's got the sticky fingers at the moment, and I've noticed every time Centrals have got the ball in quickly, they've at least got a score on the board. So
Luke Cowan has the football. Kicked 2 already today, and this goal would just steady the ship a bit for Central. 15 minutes gone. 5 points the margin in favour of the Dogs. And he's just been doing what a key forward should, Luke Cowan, getting up, taking the marks, and then coming down and kicking the goals. And he's kicked another one there. Or has he? No, he's pushed it. Looked good off the boot, or wait on the umpire. It is a goal. It looked good off the boot, it drifted a bit. The umpire went a long way, but in the end he stuck it through. So Central go to 7-3-45 to Port. That's 5-4-34, 15 and a half gone second term.
Well, waiting for the ball to come back in. How do you see the game going at the moment? I mean, Porter kicking with the breeze. Bowen Lockwood. Bowen's just stood up.
Giving his back a bit of exercise, I think.
I think he is too. Bowen, as you know, Bowen Lockwood, our special comments man, not playing football, hasn't played for several years because he's only 26 now. But with that very bad back injury, so from time to time he's just simply got to exercise it. So we were just about to throw to him. Then I realised the person sitting almost in his seat is my little bloke in Timothy, but I don't think he's in the position. He's got a mouthful of food.
I think you could say something. He just doesn't have a mic. Yeah, you're right. He's got his gob full.
But anyway, there's a free kick paid here to Port Magpies. James Gowan's there. Just having a quiet word to the umpire, and the free kick to go here to the player in Christian De Pasquale. Represented the VFL too, that would have been 3-4 years ago. Yeah. Very, very good player as he comes down towards the, getting closer to the wing position, and Rock Harry. And I'm like you, I love that name. Yeah. It sounds like a chocolate bar or something, doesn't it? Rock Harry. It's just got that name about it. In he comes, kicks the ball. It goes down towards half forward. Up they go. There is a mark being claimed here, and a good one too. A Mr. Clip mark of the day in the middle of the pack. He may be tall, but it was a good solid mark in Paul Scholar. He went with the short kick. Found James Gowans. Gets it across here now to Graham. Quentin Graham drives in towards half forward, and Daniel Shell has taken the mark. He's taken the mark about 50 metres out. He's going to drop the ball in short, and has found his teammate in Quentin Graham. 45 metres out from goal, although we'll kick from about 50 metres. And John, I just sense at this moment that the two key forwards for Central District, particularly Luke Cowan, but also Daniel Shell getting a few touches now. They're causing a few headaches for the Magpie defenders.
Yeah, I think you're right, Doug. They're looking very good, aren't they? Just Cowan, as you said, kicked 3 goals. Shell taking the marks as well. So you just wonder, do they have the tall timber down defence, Port Adelaide, to take out those couple of guys? We'll
go around the grounds in a moment as Quentin Graham comes in and kicks for goal. It looks pretty good from here too. You wouldn't know he was kicking into a breeze or a slight cross breeze. He's put it straight through the middle, has number 38 for Centrals. And the Bulldogs move along to 8 goals, 3, 51, leading Port Magpies, 5-4-34, the Crazy John scoreboard as we go around the grounds again. For National Wireless, two-way radio, and the man at Prospect is Ben Pittman.
12 minutes into the second quarter, and it's the Roosters up by 30 points. North Adelaide, 8 goals, 250. To Sturt, 3 goals, 220. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
20-minute mark here at Theby, and Woodville West Torrens Eagles. That's a mouthful, that is. 7-4-46. Taking the game away from Westies, 3-3-21. Repeating the scores, the Eagles 7-4-46, leading the West Adelaide 21. Now here's Gav at the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
21-minute mark, no, 16-minute mark. South Adelaide, 7 goals, 4-46, are leading Glenelg. 2 goals, 7-19, 27-point margin in favour of the Panthers. Now it's back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
Back here at Elizabeth, the ball inside the forward 50 for Central. Cowan nearly put off another marker, finger tipper. In the end, Eichner for Port Adelaide's earned himself a free kick. He gives the handball to Clayton, who goes short and finds Funky running out across from half back now. Kicks up towards the half forward position, but it's all Central. Hopwood on his own takes the mark. Heath Hopwood, Hollywood Hopwood, taken to ground there by Waterhouse. Probably a 25-metre penalty. We'll wait and see what the umpire says it is. I don't know why Waterhouse did that, because Hopwood had the ball, wasn't going anywhere. Waterhouse just came in and shoved him over. It's one thing to hold him up, it's another thing to knock him to the ground. It's Hopwood with the momentum fairly and squarely with the Bulldogs, goes short and finds Bello. Kicks up towards the forward 50. Not a bad kick, in the mark taken about probably 60 from goal by James Gowans. His brother Chris just inside 50. He might go looking for him. No, it's Daniel Healy who chips it in the end and takes the mark right on the forward 50 arc. He plays on now, wasting no time. The left foot kick towards the goals Oh, what a great kick. He's going to go right to the line. Oh, Shell was up. Oh, he was way up but couldn't pull off the mark. And in the end, Clayton, it is, racing the ball through for a rush behind. But what a great kick from Healy. What a great attempt at a mark from Shell. Central 8-4, Port 5-4, 20 minutes gone, second quarter. And Bowen Lockwood, he could have got frequent flyer points with that lead.
It was a fantastic leap, wasn't it? I think three-quarters of both sides were in the forward line then, so he certainly had plenty of shoulders to sit on.
So the action at the moment is out there in front of, looks like a steak sandwich stand, and it's going to be Tony Brown kicking. It's a long way from here, but kicks back toward the centre of the ground. The ball's taken by Big Butler. He's quickly dispossessed of it, though. Comes out. No one really able to get the ball out. It's on the ground. Umpire letting play go on. Will be picked up here by James Gowans, although there is a free kick, it sounds like, and it will go the way of Centrals and Marco Bello. Marco Bello. Well, I guess you call him a veteran these days now. 136th game after coming over from Box Hill. Played, I think, a couple of games with St Kilda reserves too. But in he comes, drops the ball in short. Up they go. No one can take the mark. The ball is on the ground. It's only about 20 metres out from the Central's goal. Officer tries to kick it off the ground, but eventually it's been rushed through for a minor score to Central District. They move it on to 8 goals, 5-53. Port Magpies, 5-4-34. It is the Crazy John scoreboard on Life FM. It is the match of the day in the SANFL, and it's an absolute ripper here as Tony Brown took a clever mark on the half-back line. Gets it across to Tommy Carr, former state vice-captain, former power player too. On now to Mark Clayton. He's normally got beautiful disposal. Looks down here for Jeremy Jakes, and the big student teacher puts his arms up, couldn't take the mark, and I thought he might have been thrown into defence to try and perhaps work off or to perhaps have a job on Coward or maybe on Shell, but he's been thrown up forward or even onto the ball, big Jeremy Jakes, and so he'll contest this battle with big Paul Scott. They actually played against each other, I think, up in southern New South Wales where they both come from. So there's the throw it, up they go. Probably Scott got the tap out, but Jakes was in there using his body. Comes out to Rock Harry, got it across brilliantly there to Clayton, eluded his opponent. That was superb football into centre half forward. The mark will be paid here to Port Magpies, or a free kick. I reckon it was a Port free, and that is an Auto Pro Golden Grove, courageous play. Tony Brown, who used to rove for St Kilda. That's what I'm trying to say of this whole thing. But that was a courageous effort, that, and you expect that from Tony Brown. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, he held his ground. It was a fantastic kick from number 2 as well. Great vision.
Well, Tony Brown wasted no time giving off the handball. The kick up towards the top of the goal. Good, gone right to the line there. It's gone through, I think. Was a touch? No, it's there. So Port Adelaide, was that young Daniel Easy kick that? Just wait on that. We'll just check the score here. Port Adelaide go to 6 goals for 40. Central 8-5-53. 22 minutes gone. I think that might have been Lees who got that goal for Adelaide. I'm not too sure.
We'll give it to Lees anyway. I was actually looking down, getting some stuff, and in fact, while we're trying to work things out, let's go round the grounds and see what's happening here, because those guys are on the ball. The National Wireless two-way radio, and first up at Prospect, here's Ben Pittman.
17 and a half minutes into the second quarter, and it's the Roosters up by 36 points. North Adelaide 9 goals 3, 57 leading Sturt 3 goals 3, 21. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
25-minute mark here at Thevy, and the Eagles are 8-4-52, leading West Adelaide 4-3-27. Now here's Gav at the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
21-minute mark at Noarlunga in the second quarter. South Adelaide by 21 points, 7 goals 5, 47 are leading Glenelg, 3 goals 8, 26. Now it's back to Doug and the boys at Elizabeth.
And the former Freo full forward, or key forward in Waterhouse, having a shot for goal here for Port Magpies. That is a magnificent kick. He has kicked that one from 50 metres. I know he had the breeze behind him, but it never looked like missing. And Clive Waterhouse has kicked his second goal for the afternoon. He becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the Magpies. They move along now to 7 goals 4, 46. They are trading Central's 8-5-53. So the margin is just 7 points in a real thriller. The Crazy Johns match of the day, and Clive Waterhouse again just showing what a dangerous 40 is. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, it's the ability to turn it on at the right times, and that's brought him within 6 points. So that was a important goal.
Back in the middle here at Elizabeth Oval. No one able to take it clearly for Central. Finally, Slade does. Gave to McCabe, who in turn gave to Hopwood, who kicks up towards half forward. Clayton took it well, but he was met solidly by James Gowans. Diving in on the footy there for Port was Di Pasquale. Courageously got a handball out to his teammate there in Elston, who kicks up around the wing position. Mark taken by Carr. Tries to get around Vic McKenzie. Just managed to do so in the end. Handball out there, again looking for Elston, but bustling through was Hopwood, and he sees the ball out of bounds. And there'll be a throw-in grandstand wing here at Elizabeth Oval, and it certainly is all happening with the margin down to just 7 points after we felt that Central was drawing away. As the boundary umpire prepares to bring the footy back into play. Mackenzie in the ruck gets into the front position, but from behind it was Butler, getting it down to his skipper and Tony Brown. Well tackled by Chris Gowans. Central fans screaming for holding the ball. Hopwood trying to pick it up now. He can, no he can't. Port Adelaide get it and they kick it forward through Stevens inside the 50. Bouncing ball coming out to pick it up there is Slattery. He's tackled, slung into the fence by Curry.
Don't like that.
No, it's not needed, and there'll be a throw in right forward pocket for the Magpies. They've trailed by 7 points.
Mind you, having said that, in all fairness to Curry, I think Slattery had a lot of momentum going, and he had to apply the tackle, so maybe I was a little bit unkind there to Brad Curry. So to all his rallies, I'll take that comment back. And thankfully no one is hurt. I think that's the main thing.
Well, I can tell you from experience that fence isn't too soft either.
Exactly. And especially the bony knees of the spectators that hang over it. There's the ball up now. It's about 45 metres out from the Port Magpies goal. Going through strongly there was Matty Slade. Lots of Golden Grove Auto Pro courage there. He's got the free kick too as he feeds off the hand pass here to Tyson Hay. Hay now comes out towards the grandstand wing, getting underneath the ball and taking the mark. And again showing a lot of courage because he didn't know what was behind him. That was Jeremy Clayton, and he took a good strong mark. I reckon Clayton's the best man on the ground by a long shot so far as Elstone goes in towards centre half forward. I thought Waterhouse might have contested that one more, but in fairness to him, the sun may have got in his eyes, and Ofterheide took the mark. He played on immediately, got it out to another long sleeve player there in Steinburner. Goes down towards the half forward line. James Gowans in front, was pushed in the back, and a free kick to be taken by the former Saint and of course champion Central District player in James Gowans out of sight. That's not Cowan. Gowans. Goodness me. It's Cowan down towards centre half forward, and Centrals are in attack once again.
Ball spills free from that pack at half back for Port Adelaide. Clayton was met solidly as he tried to kick the ball, and the Central player is down. I think it might be Sculler. We'll wait and see. Ball kicked up towards the Central forward line. Officers marked it, can run into an open goal, and he picks it. And so Central, after that confusion there in the middle of the ground where two players collided, have got their 9th goal. They go to 9 goals, 559. Port 7, 446. 27 go on second term. Just look into the middle of the ground there. It was Scholar who collided there with his teammate. May have been Cowan, I think. And they both met very heavily as they went to tackle Clayton. And Scholar in the hands of the trainers as we speak, Doug.
They're going to try and carry him, are they, without a stretcher? I was going to say he's the biggest man on the ground. Yeah. And he looks a bit groggy, but he is up on his feet. That's the good news as he walks out of the 50-metre square, just so they can get play underway once again. But it was a hefty knock. Big Jason McKenzie now doing the ruck work up against Butler. Neither able to get the tap out. Port Magpies, though, into attack. Waterhouse pushed his opponent out of the way, and Stevens was about to race it and kick a goal. Another player is down here for Centrals. Is it a Central boy down? Yes, it is. Is that Tyson Hay who's down at the bottom of that pack?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I think it might be too. Tyson Hay got the socks down, as he normally does. Umpire is stopping play, and in fact he may even be calling for
a stretcher.
A stretcher, just judging by that signal that was given by Tim Pfeiffer.
It is definitely Hay too. He's got 3 trainers all with him now.
And I think if anybody knows anything about injuries and that, I guess Tim Pfeiffer, being in the police force, would certainly know.
He's bleeding. He's taken a nasty knock to the top of the forehead. You can see blood is flowing quite freely from that. So obviously just in the contest there, perhaps even a head collision, I'm not sure. But
thankfully he won't need a stretcher, but he's obviously going to be quite groggy as he walks off the ground now. It doesn't look good at all, does it? But at least he's on his feet, and he's only needing the aid of one trainer, so that's good. Wonderful player, Tyson Hay. Was he there when you played at Centrals, Bowen?
Yeah, he was, and he's a really tough player. There's not a lot of him, but he can mix it with the best of them. So if he's hit, he's definitely got hit hard. So he'll probably come back on unless he's concussed.
He's a lad who he played at Geelong Falcons, I understand. He came from Colac originally, and he's a lad who must have gone pretty close, I reckon, to going to the next level because he's got wonderful skills.
And he's been a great addition to the back line of the Doggies as well.
And 95th game today, Tyson Hay.
So the ball is on the half-back line here for Central District. The free kick taken, and the mark has now been taken across half-back by Nathan Steinburner. He feeds it off into the centre. Luke McCabe as Waterhouse was in hot pursuit, goes down towards half forward, and the mark is taken by James Gowan. He's accumulating the kicks too. That's a magnificent kick. Getting his hands up there was Shell. Couldn't quite hold the mark. The ball hung in the air just a little bit. Picked up by Chris Gowan. Centering kick and a beautiful mark. Lots of courage again shown by, do I need to tell you, it was Jeremy Clayton once again. This man is dominating this game. Goes with the hand pass. Out come Port Magpies down towards the wing, and the big strong hands of the former Sydney rookie, and now with the power in Jeremy Jakes. Took the mark, and the short kick comes in too. Rock Harry, he's taken the mark on the centre wing, and John Nankivell take a big breath and take over.
He kicks up towards half forward. Ball missed a couple of players, and a good take by Slattery as the half-time siren sounds. And at half-time here at Elizabeth Oval.
The amount of coverage that he gains.
Interesting to see, guys, too. Tyson Hay, he took that nasty knock late in the second term. He's come back. He's okay. I shouldn't they would have stitched him up. He's going to sit down on the bench. Whether or not he'll take any more part in this game, you don't know. I guess it depends on how the central back line functions in this second half. But it's good to see that he's okay and not suffering any massive ill effects.
The Crazy Johns match of the day. The big fellas to do battle. Up they go. Getting the first tap out there was Big Ivan Marriage, but it's Steinberger who gets the first kick. Now it was smothered. Hand pass there from McKenzie. Good reflex action. Got it across to Graham. On now to James Gowans in towards centre half forward. Lovely two-sided player. Went with his left foot and found his brother, the right-footed Chris Gowans, who also kicks well with the left. He plays on with a hand pass out there to Matty Slade. And just got a word there from Ian Bone. And Bodie tells me that Tyson Hay and Paul Scott are both concussed. So whether they will take, one would assume that they won't take any further part in the game. That could be rather crucial and rather telling. And there's going to be a ball up occurring anyway on the half-forward line here for Centrals. It's in their forward 50. Going to be picked up by Centrals, and the boy picking it up there is Gowans of the Chris variety, it looks like. Goes in short, finds Heath Hopwood. Another nice kick out in front of Shell. It was just a little bit too far in front of him. Now, oh, lovely tackle, Eichner. That was superb stuff. Did not give up there and applied the tackle. Picked up by Bello, though, under pressure from Clayton. Got it out, though, to Steinberger. Chance now for Healy. There's his kick. It just runs along the ground, and big Ivan Marriage comes out of defence and thumps the ball down towards the half-back line. And Tony Brown, a Mr. Clip, mark of the day, a pack mark by the little midget. That was sensational stuff. A short kick has found Luke Slattery. That's good football. Port Magpies, John Nankivell.
It certainly is, and Slattery goes further up the field onto the wing where Jakes takes the mark. He handballs in the direction of Jeremy Clayton, who gets his first touch for the second half. The first of many you would think. He finds Lees, who in turn goes short over the top to little Rock Harry, who from right half forward kicks inside 50. Waterhouse on the lead, dropped what he should have taken, almost taken high by Curry. Handball chopped off there by Richard Cochran. He kicks out towards half back. Rock Harry was in the front position, spoiled well by Officer, who tapped back into the running of Hopwood. He handballs to James Gowans, who in turn goes short to Quinton Graham. Handballs to Slade in the white boots, who kicks up towards the forward 50 arc. Archie, solid as always, gets the fist on it, appears to be moved back in defence. He's got Chris Gowans tackling him, but he got a handball away to Mark Clayton, who from right half back kicks towards the wing, but he's cocked it up, and I think that's Officer it is, taking the mark out there on the outer side of Elizabeth Oval.
Action now. Well, actually, there's a slowdown of the action, but the ball is out there. We'll go around the grounds again in just a few moments, but a hand pass comes back to Hopwood, who in turn got it across there to Healy. Big long kick goes up in the direction of Daniel Shell. The crowd are not happy with that one. Shell, though, nice hand pass. Got it out to Graham. Graham, a clever kick, although it may not. Yes, it will land. No, it won't land to the advantage of Steinberger. Player held without the ball. Maybe. No, not quite, says the umpire. Fitzgerald's got it now. The boy from Balranald in southern New South Wales. Got it out there to Taylor. A hand pass to Tony Brown. It comes back here now to Eichner. Been impressed with his game. Maybe took a little bit too much time to get rid of it. It slews off the side of his foot. Lands in the hands, though, of Ross Funky fortuitously. Got it across to Clayton. That was wonderful. It'll go against Clayton. He dodged around an opponent, was tackled then by Chris Gowans. It was wonderful football. Fills out now to Healy from 48 metres. Healy, big long kick for goal. Up goes Shell. Couldn't quite take the mark, and it's gone through for a minor score. So thrilling stuff here to start this third quarter at Elizabeth. 3 minutes have gone in the quarter, and Central District move along to 9 goals, 660. Leading Port Magpies 7-4, 46. The Mr. Clip scoreboard. Let's get a comment from Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, that was a fantastic tackle by either Chris or James Gowans. Great to see them getting touches early, because when they're playing well, Central's is playing well.
It's a good point from Bowen there. They do really take Central, the team, by the scruff of the neck almost, and demand they play well, those two. Taylor from half-back after taking a good mark comes off hands to Elstone. Very good midfielder for Port Adelaide. Handballs over the top, sets Clayton. It's hard. He's up to it though. Handballs back into the middle of the ground, taken by Fitzgerald. Goes one way then the other to Di Pasquale with the handball. A lot of handball. We might see another one coming up from Taylor. No, he gets that onto the left foot and under pressure kicks out of bounds on the full. And don't the Doggy fans like that there, cheering away with great abandon as James Gowan plays on. And now they're booing with great abandon because it's going to come back and Gowan's going to kick over the mark. Oh, he's going to make him do it again. The roof's going to blow off in a minute with these Central fans and the steam coming out of their ears. And now the problem is James Gowans can't take the kick, and it's going to go to Heath Hopwood. So we'll go around the grounds in a moment, but Heath Hopwood has the football. You just feel something's building here. Goes short towards half forward. Well, shows what I know. Healy so popped it out of bounds accidentally. It has gone out of bounds, and now he will go around the grounds to Ben Pittman at Prospect Oval.
Yeah, it's about a minute into the third quarter here and scores are unchanged. It's still the Roosters by 27 points, 58-31. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
Thanks, Ben. Just gone the 8-minute mark here at Thebby, and the Eagles are 11-6-72, dumping Westies 4-4-28, a lead by 44 points to the Eagles. Here's Gabba the shootout with an update from Noarlunga.
Thank you, Brady. 7-minute mark at Noarlunga. It's South Adelaide, 7 goals, 6:48. Glenelg, 4 goals, 8:32. 16 points in favour of South. Back at Elizabeth.
Well, one of the big highlights, according to the Central supporters, is that Daniel Shell's been paid a free kick. And did they? That's the biggest bit of cheering I've heard all day. It was amazing. He's got the free kick about 30 metres, 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. Kicks inaccurately. And that's not abnormal for Daniel Shell, as we all know. He's a wonderful player. Nice lad too. Beautiful mark. His kicking, though, can be a little wayward. Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, I think that was a smart decision by the umpire to pay that free kick, given the one he gave before. I don't think he would have got out of the ground without some security guards before that one, I think.
6 minutes gone in the third quarter. The Crazy Johns match of the day. Central District 9-7-61. Port Magpies is 7-4-46. Central's going with the breeze in this quarter. Jeremy Clayton, as I said, I reckon he's easily the best man on the ground. He has just been sensational. Lovely kick too, and he's found his teammate on the outer side of the ground. The boy up there is that Mark Clayton? Or is that Elstone?
I think that's Di Pasquale.
Di Pasquale, number 15 it is too. The half-back flank of the left footer. And he comes from Victoria in his second year. Had a good year. Did he? I think he might have won Port's Best and Fairest last year, did he? Or went close to it?
Yes, he did win it last year.
As the action, though, he's kicked the ball, but it's all ended up in Central's possession. And Heath Hopwood has the ball now, drops the ball in short, and another mark has been taken. It's a long way here from our broadcast point. Bello dropping it in short, gets it across here to Cochrane. He's kicking with his left foot this time, kicks the ball up very, very high. It'll be a Central's mark, and a good one. A Mr. Clip mark of the day in front of the pack there, taking a good mark. Luke Cowan, and goodness me, what a game he's played at centre half forward. If you one of your key forwards can grab the ball like that, Bowen Lockwood, you're in with a real chance.
Yeah, and Spongy's been marking the ball really well today. And I just think the pressure from Central Districts has been fantastic in the third quarter, and I think that's why they're getting on top here. And once again, the Gowans boys, really having a big impact on the game as well.
Luke Cowan now coming in. He'll line up kick probably from about 40 metres. It'd test me, but I don't think it'll test him. There's the kick. Accuracy is not there, and he's put it through for a minor score. 3 goals, 1 today for Luke Cowan so far. 7.5 minutes of the third quarter gone. Central District 9-8-62. Port Magpies 7-4-46. The Crazy Johns match of the day on Life FM.
Eichner brings the footy back into play. Marked in the left back pocket there by Taylor for Port Adelaide. It's one of the players wearing the long sleeves. He kicks up towards half back, where it's Steinburn had to sit and wait, coming through strongly with Slater. He couldn't take the footy. Comes to ground. Brown under pressure, handball it straight to Shell, who in turn goes to Slade for the Dogs at right half forward, right on the boundary. Kicks inside 50. 3 Port players fly. They all spoil each other. James Gowans went in there, couldn't handle it. Picking it up there was Elstone. Got a handball out in the Fitzgerald direction, and he was good to rock Harry, who gave to Taylor, who in turn went back to Harry, and he kicks from 40 from defensive goal into the middle of the ground. Oh, Oh, it didn't quite pull off, I don't think, but Cochrane played on anyway to give him a mark that was sensational. And now Central have the ball through McKenzie, kicking up inside 50. McCabe there, Eichner worked himself to the front of the pack. McCabe goes in there. Eichner surely going to be pinned for holding the ball. He's just dragged that in, umpire. He's just dragged that in. Well, I've seen a lot worse than that being pinged. But that's going to be a bounce about 35 out from goal, over in the pocket. And that was a great mark of the day. I missed a clip mark of the day from Cochrane if he did indeed pull it off.
Well, we're not sure if he did because he played on immediately. We'll check with the... Did he play that? No. We didn't see it happen that quickly. That's an unofficial comment, by the way, from the umpires. We were just clarifying things. But the action now, or the lack of action, because there's going to be a ball up about 45 metres out from goal. We'll go around the grounds again reasonably soon. But the ball up now in Central's attacking zone, in their forward 50. Marriage got the tap out, comes away. He's got some nice mobility too. Went with the hand pass. It was smothered, taken this time by Elstone. What's he going to do? Dummies the hand pass, then feeds it out there to his teammate. Is that Clayton again? Or Rock Harry it might have been. Rock Harry goes down towards half forward. Jeremy Jakes tries the clever tap over. Couldn't quite get the fist to it. Picked up by Marco Bello, running through the centre wing. Went with the hand pass. Got it across to Hopwood. Hopwood feeds the hand pass back here now to the player in Cochrane. Kicks the ball long, and Taylor. I like the look of this lad. I reckon he can play a bit, you know. He's only 18 years of age and he looks all right. Around the grounds real soon at the next scoring opportunity. Hand pass comes out now to Daniel Lees, former St Michael's boy. Comes down towards half forward and big Jeremy Jakes, the big Tabor College teacher education student, swings round. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Clive Waterhouse is the target. Couldn't get to the ball in time. It was an awkward bounce for him too. It's on the ground. They're fighting for it there. No one able to burst their way clear. A hand pass from Gowans of the, I think, the C variety. Got it out there. It might have been to Symes. Comes back again too. Another short kick, or was that Symes and Cochrane look a bit the same, but a lovely mark on the centre wing taken here by Daniel Shell. Shell immediately playing on, gets it across here to Gowans. And that is Chris Gowans. I'm glad he turned round. His kick in towards centre half forward. The mark spilled. Can you believe that? Jeremy Clayton actually made a mistake. May have had the sun in his eyes. Going to be taken away this time, though, by Central's. A hand pass to Shell. John, you got the glasses on him.
Daniel Shell kicks up towards the centre half forward position, all on his own and waiting for the football and taking the mark there with Symes. Handball's over the top to Steinberner. He gives to Healy. Surely the skipper will kick this. And you can tell by the roar that he has. And on the Crazy John scoreboard, Central go to 10 goals, 8, 68, 4-7, 4-46. 11 minutes gone in the third term.
Let's go round the grounds now for National Wireless two-way radio at Prospect. Ben Pittman.
7 minutes into the third quarter and Sturt have started with a rash of behinds. It's the Roosters by 24 points. North Adelaide 9 goals, 458, leading Sturt 4 goals, 10-34. About 7 minutes into the third quarter. Now side down at Brady Dell at Theberton.
Thanks, Ben. 14.5 minute mark here at Debbie, and the Eagles 13-6, 80-78, leading Westies 4-4-28. Now here's Gavin the shootout with an update from the scores at Noarlunga.
Yes, thank you, Brady. It's a different game of football in the second half. It's getting a little bit scrappy, and Glenelg are getting on top. They've closed the gap to 4 points. South Adelaide 7-7-49, lead Glenelg 6-9-45, 4 points in favour of the Panthers. Now it's back to Elizabeth.
And the margin back here is 22 points. Central's in front. They're going with the breeze in this third quarter. 12 minutes have gone as they drive the ball in right up towards the teeth of goal. The hands of Eichner went up, couldn't hold the mark. It's on the ground. It's, I think, going to be all locked in. And the umpy will come in and say, it is mine. About 20 metres out from goal. And observing the game here, our special comments man, Bowen Lockwood. What are your thoughts, Bowen?
Yeah, well, Centrals have certainly got on top. I think the Magpies are missing a player like Jared Polton. He'd be great right now for them, I think.
Ball plays on in that forward 50 area for Central. Steinberner had a wild kick at the goals in the end. Couldn't pull it off. Through for one behind. And the Dogs go to 10 goals, 9-69. Port Adelaide 7-4, 46. 12 and a half gone in this third term. And Jeremy Clayton, well, he's been everywhere today. He's now going to do the kicking in duties for Port Adelaide. He's done that a little bit in the first quarter. He goes short and it comes off. He finds Elston, who plays on immediately with the handball out there to his teammate and Harry. He kicks the ball up towards half back where the mark's taken by Deepat Scully, but it was over the line. And so the free kick will go to Central. Looks like Symes out there. It is. He plays on. Runs to about 60 from goal, gives a big strong boot to the top of the square. Shell sandwiched in between, goes in again, gets the footy, fires at the handball, hoping for Officer. He goes off the ground and just misses Kane Officer. And on the Crazy John scoreboard, Central 10-10-70, Port 7-4-46, margin of 24 points, 13 and a quarter minutes gone in the third term.
Waiting now for the ball to be brought in, and it has been brought in, and Mark Clayton has taken the mark across half back. He's one of the best kicks on the side, but opted to go for a hand pass to Clayton once again, who gets yet another possession. Gets it out here to Lees, who's also a pretty good kick too. He's a left footer, a natural left footer. Out to Steinberner, goes with the left foot. Didn't get it out to, I mean, they were in opposite teams, but Steinberner won it. It comes out to Luke McCabe and kicks a goal. Not exactly raining goals, but Central's, I must admit, seem to be taking control of this game. They move along now to 11 goals, 10, 76. Port Magpies, 7-4-46. The margin now out to 30 points. If you were John Cale at the moment, Bowen Lockwood, what do you think you'd be thinking?
I think he'd be pretty happy at the moment. Oh, sorry,
John Cale.
John Cale would be...
He's the Port coach.
Oh, is that who he is? I think I'll leave that one after that.
The highlights tape will have to get one for you. Yes. Any moves? Would you make any moves at this stage, or?
I haven't really thought about it yet, but I did notice Maggies have only had it down there forward end once, and they didn't even look like getting it close to the goals.
Well, Central getting to centre break there through Mackenzie, did a bit of rucking and roving. The Gowans boys combining there. That was James who gave it to Slade, who in turn gives to Officer. He kicks towards the goal square. Up in front there, working hard, was Morrison. Before Adelaide, or was it Lees? I think it was Lees. Central players, one holding the ball. Umpire comes in and says, no, I'll bounce it, fellas. And Daniel Lees gingerly gets up off the bottom of that pack. And the umpire does indeed throw it up in the air. Through from the side there was Shell. Down to Slade. Not a good handball under pressure came to Mark Clayton for Port. He kicks out, not a good one, and it's marked out there at defensive 50 by Cochrane. He goes short into Slade, who takes the mark about 45 out from goal. Over in that left forward pocket, wasting no time. Slade goes short looking for Steinberner and finds him. Well, he's improved the distance by about 10 metres. He's probably about 35 out from goal, and the angle's a little bit better. It's still going to be a tough kick, though, for Nathan Steinberner. As we check the Crazy John scoreboard, this would make it 6 goals the margin, and we are 15 and a half into the third term. So it would be tough for Port Adelaide. Certainly the way Central are playing, as Nathan Steinberner comes in deliberately with the right foot kick. Looks very good off the boot. Looks sensational, in fact. Goes right over the goal umpire's head. So on the Crazy John scoreboard, Central goes to 12 goals, 10, 82 that is. So Port Adelaide 7 goals, 4, 46, 15, nearly 16 minutes gone, third term.
And around the grounds once again for National Wireless two-way radio at Prospect. Ben Pittman.
Exactly 12 minutes into the third quarter here, and it's the Roosters up by 29 points. North Adelaide 10 goals, 4-64, leading Sturt 4 goals, 11-35. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell. That's Everton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. 19.5 minute mark here at Tiverton, and it definitely looks like it's first versus ninth here at the moment. Eagles 14-6, 90. Westies 4-4, 28. Here's Gav at the studio with an update from the scores at Noarlunga.
19-minute mark at the Noarlunga Centre Stadium, and it's South still by 4 points. 8 goals, 8-56. Lee Glenelg 7 goals, 10-52. 4 points to the Panthers. Back to Elizabeth.
Had a little bit of excitement there for the Magpie supporters. Big Jeremy Jakes. I thought he was going to kick his second goal in his whole career in the SANFL, but off target with it, and he's put it through for a minor score. Central's lead on the Crazy John scoreboard, 12-10, 82. Port Magpies, 7-5, 47. 17 minutes of the third quarter gone, and the action is on the centre wing. Central's go for it. Oh, there's the mark of the day for Mr. Clip. What an absolute gem that one was. And that had to be Luke Cowan. It was Luke Cowan. And Daniel Shell trying to rival him. He rode the pack there. But Luke Cowan, I'll have to write that one down. It was sensational. Falls off hands, and Graham has kicked another one. Listen to that Central crowd. And so they should be excited too. They are playing champagne football at the moment as they make the changes. Kate Officer comes off, and young Michael Taylor comes on. It's his second match at senior level for Central's. What a moment for him. Central's 13 goals, 10. 88, leading Port Magpies, 7-5, 47. Bowen Lockwood, can Port get back in the game?
Yeah, well, I think it's all Centrals at the moment. I think that Magpies would do well to take the lead from young Craig Taylor's shorts and tighten up a little bit.
Back in the middle, Butler trying to bust through there for Port Adelaide. And there'll be about slightly on the attacking side of centre for Central. We've gone 18 minutes in this third term, and the Dogs leading it by 41 points. Bounce in the middle. Chris Gowans doing some ruck work. Knocked it out towards his brother at half forward. Nothing doing there. Di Pasquale came through. He lost it. Young player there getting in his first touch. Gave a handball out towards James Gowans. Inside 50-odd pounds for Steinberger. So Chris Gowans, who walks into the open goal. And it's going to be very tough report from here. Central go to 14 goals in, 84, Port 7-5, 47, 18 and a half gone third term. That was Michael Taylor getting the handball there at half forward, just moving Central along, and Bowen Lockwood, Central looking irresistible.
Yeah, and I can't help but notice the impact the Gowans brothers are having on the game. They've really lifted, and so has Central's. I mean, me personally, I think both of them were a little bit stiff to not have a longer AFL career, actually. So they're definitely one of the best on balls in the competition.
So the margin now has blown out to 47 points. Central's exactly double the Port Magpies score of 7-5. Central's obviously 14-10 in the centre of the ground. It's all locked up, and I think there will be a ball up to recommence play once again. Yes, there will. Umpires here today, Tim Pfeiffer, Anthony Mead and Daniel Cow. And for mine, they've done a pretty good job. I haven't noticed them too much, apart from that controversial one that you pulled out, John. But it's just been a very entertaining game of football. It's been blown open a little bit, as we know, in the last few minutes. Big Corey Archie was in there, got the hand pass away. Here's a build-up, nice build-up too by Port Magpies. Clayton, big long kick into the teeth of goal. It's Waterhouse down there who'll get the free kick. He'll get the free kick for that one. Very, very close to goal. 15 metres out, almost directly in front, and Clive Waterhouse now to go back and line up for his third goal for the afternoon. And if Port ever needed a goal, it is at this very moment. Bowen Lockwood.
And these goals look simple from here, but I'll tell you what, it's a different story when you're down there. If you're expected to kick it, if you miss, you're the villain.
Oh, lovely looking kick. And he's put it straight through the middle. And it's gone from cheering for Daniel Healy coming off to the booing for that goal with Clive Waterhouse. And it's good-natured booing, I think. But I think they're still unhappy because of the decision. But the umpire was pretty close to the action, and it looked like, I mean, Clive Waterhouse's eyes were for the ball, and he was paid the free kick for interference, as I understood it. 20 minutes gone in the quarter. Central's 14-10, 94. Port Magpies 8-5, 53. I think we can go around the grounds once again. The National Wireless two-way radio. Here's Ben Pittman at Prospect.
16 and a half minutes into the third quarter, and it's North Adelaide by 28 points. The Roosters 11 goals, 4, 70 to the Double Blues, 5 goals, 12, 42. Now it's right down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
Ben, 20 and a half minute mark here at Debbie, and the Eagles are 15-8, 98, leading West Adelaide 4-4-28. So the Eagles by 70 points, 20 minutes into the third quarter at Theberton. Now here's Gav in the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
23-minute mark at Noarlunga in the third quarter. It's South still by 4 points. South Adelaide 8 goals, 9, 57. Leading Glenelg 7 goals, 11, 53. Repeating Panthers by 4 points. Back to Elizabeth.
Back here at Elizabeth, Jeremy Clayton has taken a great mark, but it all might come undone. A wayward kick from Rock Harry, and Richard Cochran runs into the goals for Central, makes no mistake, and the procession continues. And heartbreaking stuff really there for Port Adelaide Bold, because great mark by Jeremy Clayton. He chipped it out towards Rock Harry. He then tried to be a little bit too clever and chip it back in, and it's just cost them a goal.
It's a great interception, and it's always good as a player to get on the end of one of those goals.
Certainly, he's just looking at the Crazy John scoreboard. Central running away with it, 15-10, 100. They've brought up the ton. Port Adelaide 8-5, 53, margin of 47 points. And at the 22-minute mark, Doug, you reckon there's probably still a fair bit of this third quarter to go?
Yeah, you would think so, because Centrals have kicked, let's see, they've kicked 6 goals in this quarter. Port have kicked 1, so there'll be a little bit of time on. But that effort by Jeremy Clayton, that mark that he took, I think while we were going around the grounds, that is an absolute contender for an Auto Pro Golden Grove. Courageous play, backing into a pack, just kept his eyes on the ball. And as we said, he's one of the smallest players on the ground at only 175 centimetres, 76 kilos. There's not much of him.
That's about 5'9" in the old language, I think. So.
Do you think there's a possibility he doesn't feel pain? I mean, it's got to be like that. I don't know how he does it. He has been sensational.
Well, his surname's Clayton, so he's got the history there. It's in the genes.
It must be. It must be. As the action out now on the half-back line with Rock Harry for Port Magpies. A hand pass came out, though, from the player into Pasquale. The kick, though, by Centrals was ill-placed, and that man again, Jeremy Clayton, has taken yet another mark. This is It's about 30 metres out from his defensive goal here in defence for Port Magpies. He's going to go short this time. In fact, he goes very short with a hand pass to Eichner. He in turn is forced. There's another bad mistake by Eichner. It was fairly sloppy football by Port. And the Central supporters are yelling out, ball, ball, and then boo. And I don't know, I suspect you might need a few subtitles for some of the expressions too.
They've really lost the plot, haven't they, Port Adelaide? They're just so rattled when they get into that defensive 50 area.
I think Centrals are such a good
And the
team.
pressure, exactly.
Yeah, when they are playing so confidently and competently, it's just hard to stop them. They're like a steam train, aren't they, Bowen?
Yeah, and they're holding it in the forward line really well, which is helping them a lot as well.
They made South Adelaide, who are not a bad team, look second-rate last week at certain times of the game early in the match, and it was just really full marks to Centrals. And here is a penalty.
It was a free kick originally to Cowan against Clayton. I think he was the man on the mark. There was a bit of verbal from Jeremy Clayton, and the umpire said, right, 25 metres. And it's going to put him straight on the goal line, and it will be another goal to Cowan, another goal to Central, and on the Crazy John scoreboard, 16-10, 106, Port 8-5, 53, 24 and a quarter minutes gone. I think that's his fourth goal, is it, Cowan? Yeah, he's very, very good today for Central. Probably almost, this for his impact, Bowen, been probably close to best on ground.
Yeah, for sure, and it's almost like the Magpies have run out of legs. I mean, everywhere you look, you see two Centrals jumpers and one Magpies jumper.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing too is that Jeremy Clayton is getting a lot of those touches, of course, deep down in defence. Now, that's not because he's starting off in the centre of the ground, but they're lacking, they're just not getting any clearances from there, are they?
It's because that's where the ball is the whole time, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. He's still pretty good, though, having said that. I still think he's clearly the best individual player on the ground, but there's so many good players for Centrals now. Back there, Clayton almost came through again and got the ball, couldn't do so, and there's going to be a restart once again as a big pack forms. 25 minutes of the quarter gone. The margin is now blown out to 53 points. And Centrals and Port. Centrals exactly double the Port score of 8-5, 53. Centrals, if you know your maths well, 16-10, 106. And we'll have another lesson next week. But right now, the umpire says it's going to be mine. There will be another ball up to restart play. Yes, he does ball it up too. Up they go. They can take the choice here, I understand, in the SA NFL of either balling it up or bouncing it. Coming through strongly there with the hand pass was Elstone. Got it out to Tony Brown, showing lots and lots of courage. And I think he might even get the free kick, will he? I think he will, Tony Brown. He was manhandled, and that was an example there of Auto Pro Golden Grove courageous play. Tony Brown got the hand pass away, but it wasn't a good one. Got it out there to Mark Clayton, and it was just a poor hand pass in the end, and eventually Graham clears the ball there for Central District down towards the wing, but it's a Port Magpies mark, and a good solid one. This boy's been okay today. Dane Fitzgerald, John Nankerville.
He certainly has, always tries hard. He goes short to Butler, who in turn goes short to Elston, who runs through the middle of Elizabeth Oval. Just got his kick away before Cochrane affected the smother. Contest there, ball punch free. Quentin Graham always gives 100%. Got a handball out, but unfortunately it went to Waterhouse, who went to Jeremy Clayton, who inside 50. Archie off hands, handballed out, hoping for Carr. He tapped it on cleverly to Brown. He's wrapped up, though, by Tyson Hay. I think it is out there sporting the big headband. So obviously, despite the cut and the concussion he's suffering from, he's gone back onto the field, Tyson Hay. And he's held up a certain Port Adelaide score there as Archie taps forward hoping for Slattery, only goes as far as Slade. He gives a little handball to off to Hyde, who in turn goes short to the left back pocket, and Bradley Symes has the football. He kicks up towards half back. Steinburner marks the ball, always wears the long sleeves, Steinburner, except perhaps earlier in the year when we had those 30 plus days. He gave a handball to Symes, gave it back to Steinburner. He now stops, props, kicks into the middle where Yves Civanella takes the mark, kicks up towards the forward 50 arc. Who's going to come charging out for Central? No one at the moment, but McCabe and Clayton have a good tussle. Good castle by Clayton. Port fans when holding the ball. Kicked out towards half forward or half back for Port, with the mark taken by Hay on the right half forward flank.
Tyson Hay now with the head bandage now into centre half forward. And I reckon he's probably been close to the outstanding player for Centrals today. And Luke Cowan has taken a good mark in that position at centre half forward. Scott Stevens, the Adelaide Crow, former Sydney player, has got the job on him now, and Cowan to line up for his fifth goal. I saw him kick 4 against Sturt a few years ago, and I thought to myself, then this boy could play AFL. And I reckon he's one of those players who must have got very close to it, Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, I was playing that game, I think. Was that out at Sturt?
It was at Unley, yep.
Yeah. He had a great game, and I think his marking then really started to take off from there, and that's his biggest asset, and he's using it today.
So you were playing that game. I was actually over by the playground. You know where the kids play?
You didn't notice. None taken. None taken.
It's the long and short of all that was that he missed with that one, incidentally, and he's put it through for a minor score.
Give him a
Central's
rap.
16-11-107, leading Port Magpies 8-5-53. We'll go around the grounds again in a few moments as Luke McCabe from 25 metres. Magnificent dummy around an opponent. That was sheer class. Sheer class, and Luke McCabe. Metres out into a slight breeze. Central's 18-11, 119. Port Magpies 8-5-53. The Crazy John scoreboard. Bowen Lockwood, you played with both these clubs. Who are you supporting today?
The winning team.
That's the way to be. Always with the winners. Ball in the middle of the ground. Chris Gowers has got the foot. He just bustles through. Left foot kick towards centre half forward. Bouncing ball. Coming out, taking on the bounce was Clayton. He tries to break through. Central fans when holding the ball. Not doing. Steinburner picks it up. Goes short out towards half forward. Sitting and waiting out there and taking a good mark is Quentin Graham. I think Steinburner, at least at the centre bounce, was lined up there on Jeremy Clayton. So interesting to see how that matchup will go in the last quarter. And Central not taking the foot off the accelerator at all. He kicks inside 50. Graham thumped away there by Eichner towards the boundary line. Doesn't go out. Lee's paddling it along, I think hoping more than anything that it does. And in the end, it dribbles out of bounds just underneath the scoreboard, just to the right of the scoreboard, which shows Central 18-11, Port 8-5. A minute and 3/4 gone, final term.
Big crowd here at Elizabeth. You probably heard them coming through the mics. It's a fantastic atmosphere. It's probably just a bit of a shame at the moment from the game's point of view that Port have just got behind, but Centrals have been just superb. Daniel Shell now gets the jump there on his opponent in Eichner. Eichner sticking to the task really well. And the Port Magpies defenders coming in, and they've got the free kick out of this one. Well done too. They applied the tackle. And they get the free kick. Young Taylor there for Central District, caught with the ball, and going back will be De Pasquale. It comes out eventually. John.
Christian De Pasquale, as we mentioned, the best and fairest award winner last year for the Port Adelaide side. He went short to Butler, who from the left back pocket kicks out towards half back, and Jakes up and taking the mark. He handballs over the top and finds Lees. He's about 50 from defensive goal. Kicks out towards half back where the mark's taken by Elstone. Bello closes him down, stops him from playing on. And Daniel Elstone has the footy out there at the left half back in front of the probably the family-friendly area out there. I think we're getting that way. He kicks up towards the wing position. Ball fisted away there from Slattery. Goes out of bounds. And perhaps now it's a time to go around the grounds here to thanks to National Wireless two-way radios. It's Ben Pittman at Prospect Oval.
Yeah, not much action going on down here because it's three-quarter time. It's going a bit late here, but three-quarter time here at Prospect, and it's the Roosters up by 42 points. North Adelaide 13 goals, 7, 85. Leading Sturt 5 goals, 13, 43 by 42 points. Now let's throw it down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's 7.5 minute mark here at Thebe, and the Eagles are 17-8. It's about 110, leading Westies 6 goals for. They finally kicked 2 goals, and they haven't kicked 2 goals. They haven't kicked any 2 goals straight for the whole game, I don't think. The Eagles, the Westies are 6-4, 40. Repeating the scores: Eagles 17-8, Westies 6-4. Here's Gavin in the studio with an update with the game at Noarlunga.
5 minutes in the last quarter at Noarlunga. South have got the first major. 11 goals, 9-75. Lead Glenelg 8-12-60. 15 points in favour of the Panthers back at Elizabeth.
4 minutes have gone on the final quarter here. It's a big margin here with Central's 119, Port Magpies 53. It was a wonderful first half of football, but then that third quarter, you've got to say a wonderful quarter of football by Centrals. They kicked 8 goals and just about all their players were firing. And I think it was almost a lone hand by Jeremy Clayton for Port Magpies. Most of his work done in defence. As the ball to be thrown in, and a very, very enthusiastic Port Magpie supporter waving the flag over there as the backdrop to the boundary umpire. But Central's come away again. Oh, lovely mark out in front there. That's a Mr. Clip mark of the day because it was a tough mark. It was Cowan who got it. Fed the hand pass out to Bello. Comes back to Cowan. Lovely kick. Getting up in front there was Shell. He'll get the free kick this time. I've got to admit, with Daniel Shell today, he's come under a lot of pressure, I know, but he just hasn't been able to take the big marks as he would normally do, maybe full marks to young Eichner, but the ball's just not quite stuck as it normally does, Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've seen him play, actually. He's got his hands on a lot of balls, but he's just not making them stick, so we'll see if he kicks this goal.
Daniel Shell now lining up. He'll kick from about 35, 40 metres. There's the kick. It's a funny-looking kick, that one. And he's put it through for a minor score. So Daniel Shell this afternoon has just kicked the 3 behinds. And Central's move along to 18-12, 120. Leading Port Magpies, 8-5, 53. The Crazy John scoreboard. 5.5 minutes have gone in the final quarter.
Yeah, Port Adelaide still ringing the changes. We see Dee Pasquale came jogging off and Ross Funky back on. It's all gone now, but I guess they've got to keep the players going on and off to keep them rested and recuperated. Butler takes a good mark at centre-half back from the Eichner kick in. He plays on immediately, handballs towards defensive 50, not a good one, over the head of Fitzgerald. He recovers well, though, the young fella. Handballs to his teammate and Taylor, who's tried hard all day for the Magpies, number 24. He goes up towards half-back with that kick. 3 players there, went through the hands of Funky. At the back, Elstone was very good. Free kick paid. Play on advantage, not sure what that was for, but Elston took the ball and went on with it, and rightly so. Kick up towards Stevens. He grabbed it on the bounce. Sold Taylor to cover with the handball. Proudmont holding the ball, but mind you, they've wanted holding the ball all day. Chris Gowans gave to James Gowans, who in turn gave to Hopwood. And now Steinberger kicks inside 50. Shell up again. Good mark. 35 to 40 minutes out. About a 45-degree angle, and he'll go back and have his 4th shot at goal, and hopefully he can put his first goal on the board, Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, he'll kick from about 50 here, so this might test him as well. But Port are in a really difficult situation here. They can't go too defensive because they really need to kick the goals, but if they go too attacking, Centrals could blow the margin out even more. So they've got to do something, but I don't know what.
Well, a kick at goal by Shell. I have the feeling he's pushed it away to the right this time. So another behind on the scoreboard for Central. They're 13th. That's Daniel Shell's 4th. They go to 18-13, 121, the Dogs. Port Adelaide 8-5, 53. We've played bang on 7 minutes in this 4th quarter, Doug.
Now, I think Daniel Shell's probably blaming one of his uncles for that.
Yeah.
His Uncle Phil, I think it is, who was a wonderful marker of the football. Used to play up in the mid-north, but it was not the best kick under the sun.
Right.
So
I think he might have seen his uncle in the 3rd row back there and tried to hit him on the chest.
I think he may have too. As Fitzgerald comes out of defence. He's been a good player today for Port. Gets it out to his skipper in Tony Brown. He's still running as Tony Brown. You'd expect that too from Brown. He's a wonderful player. Drops the ball in short, and he's found Clive Waterhouse on the lead. He hasn't been the worst player on the ground today either. He's kicked 3 goals too. Comes up now and finds a teammate in John Stevens. He's also known as Scott Stevens. It's all right. I'm confusing him with the singer, but he's not singing a song today, I don't think. But he's got this mark about 40 metres out from goal, almost directly in front. And the boys played a handful of matches with the Crows, of course, played with Sydney as well. Tall, athletic type. And he comes. He's normally a lovely kick. And he's put that one straight through the middle. Where are the Magpie supporters? That's their 2nd goal, or his 2nd goal for Scott Stevens. And Port Magpies 9th for the afternoon. 9 goals. 5-59, trailing Central's 18-13, 121, the Crazy John scoreboard. Around the grounds again at Prospect, Ben Pittman.
45 seconds into the final quarter here, and it's the Roosters up by 42 points, unchanged from 3-quarter time. North Adelaide 13 goals, 7-85, leading Sturt 5 goals, 13-43. Now throw it down to Brady Dell at Theberton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. 12.5 minute mark here at Debbie. Eagles 17-9. Trying to do a match 111. Where Westies are 6-5-41. Here's Gavin in the studio with an update from scores from Noarlunga.
10-minute mark in the last quarter. South by 8 points. South Adelaide 11 goals, 9-75. Lead Glenelg 9 goals, 13-67. back to Elizabeth.
And a great mark's been taken this time at centre half forward here for Port Magpies, and Corey Archie has taken that mark. So we'll mark that one down as a contender for the Mr. Clip mark of the day. He'll kick from probably just on 50 metres, maybe 51, and he does have that, it's only a slight breeze now. He has it behind him, so a chance to bring up the 10th goal of the afternoon to Port Magpies. Steer it through, John Mankerville.
So Corey Archie, perhaps just getting a bit of system going. Port Adelaide kicks from right on 50. I think that was touched off the boot. It's going to lob in the back pocket area. Ball comes off hand. Stevens tries to bustle out with it. Got a kick to Waterhouse. That wouldn't have gone the regulation distance. He handballed it out more in hope than anything. Players dive in on the footy. Going to rip it out, the Central players. I said they're still keen for it. They don't matter, it doesn't matter that they're up by 10 goals. They still want the footy. But there'll be a bounce left forward pocket for Port Adelaide. And in this last quarter, we've travelled nearly 10 minutes. As the umpire throws the ball up, tap back towards the Port goal square, but it's all Central. Nathan Steinburner can't pick it up. Under pressure with Slattery hot in his hammer. Gets the handball back to Curry. He handballs over the top and finds Hopwood, who in turn goes back to Steinburner on defensive 50. His kick goes towards the wing position. Sandwiched in between the two Central players was Lees. McCabe was good for Central. He gave off to Symes, who in turn kicks up towards half forward. Big Cowan was up there, couldn't bring the mark down. Coming through again, Symes gets a handball away towards his skipper and Healy. He also couldn't pick the ball up under pressure. Players dive in on the football, and they'll be about 50 metres out from the Central District goal, and they lead by the massive margin of, is that 72 points, I think? Yes.
I normally leave that up to John Simons, of course. He's a banker. Don't throw it to me like that. As the kick now comes out, it's deep in the forward zone here for Central District. A hand pass there might have been Richard Cochran. Got it across to Chris Gowans. Goes with the left foot kick. It was a magnificent dummy around an opponent, then went with the left foot kick, and for the first time in his life, I think it just hasn't found the target, and he's put it through for a minor score. 2-1 this afternoon, Chris Gowans. Central District 14 behinds, but 18 goals. 18-14, 122. Leading Port Magpies, 9-5-59. That is the Crazy John scoreboard on Life FM. And coming out of defence now, we find it's going to be the Magpies again, and Morrison has taken the mark here. The boy from Queensland. Not exactly Queensland-like conditions. He's kicked down towards the wing. It was a little bit ill-directed, and big Jeremy Jakes diving for the ball on the ground. It just landed in front of him. Probably did well to even cover that one, and it's gone out of bounds, and there will be a throw-in almost on the true centre wing position. And the crowd are cheering as Daniel Healy comes off and Marco Bello comes on.
Ball back into play at the half-forward area for Central District. Handball out, not more than anything. Came off with Officer taking it. He kicks into towards the middle of the ground on his own there, and taking the mark for Central was Symes. He thinks about playing on, does so now to Quentin Graham. Jacob Surgeon hot in his hammer. He's probably regretting the trade right now, Surgeon, as he kicks up towards half forward. Bouncing ball, James Gowans there, picks up, has all the time in the world, goes short inside 50 and finds Slade about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. And the procession continues, Bowen Lockwood, as Central looking to extend that 63-point lead.
Yeah, I think there's some tired legs out there now. It's times like these where the oval this size really starts to take effect. So let's watch the boys see out the game.
Well, Matthew Slade, always busy, effective player for Central, kicks towards the goals. On this occasion, he's made no mistake. Umpire just watched it sail through. At the 12.5-minute mark, it's now a 69-point margin. The Dogs, who would have thought that in the first term? 19 goals, 14, 128 they go to. Port 9-5-59. Doug Oakley.
We'll go around the grounds again real soon, but Bowen Lockwood, if you were Port now, you mentioned earlier that they can't go. Well, they've got to attack to try and restore some respectability, but if they do that, it could be an even greater blowout than it is now. What would you do?
Yeah, well, I think it's really up to the key players, the Tony Browns and the Claytons and the Tom Carrs, to step up, and if they can step up, maybe they can be a show.
Let's go around the grounds, though, just before we get underway with the action once again here at Elizabeth. And thanks to National Wireless, two-way radio, Ben Pittman at Prospect.
About 5.5 minutes into the final term, and the Roosters have sprung out to their largest margin of the game. It's 43 points. North Adelaide 14 goals, 8, 92 to Sturt, 6 goals, 13, 49. And the margin's just increased to 49 points after Daniel Hargraves has just popped through his 4th goal. So it's 49 points here, about 6 minutes in. Now it's right down to Brady Dell at Severton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. 15-minute mark here, I think. I can't read the clock. It's getting dark, and the clock's too small to read anyway. Eagles are 17-10. That's about 122 by my thinking. And Westies are 8 goals, 5-53. Here's Gavin in the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
15-minute mark at Noarlunga. South by 9 points. South Adelaide 11 goals 10 76 are leading the Tigers. 9 goals 13 67. 9 points in favour of the Panthers. Back to Elizabeth.
And back here at Elizabeth, Ross Funk has the ball, went with a hand pass. The number of times today that Port have hand passed to players in worse positions has not been good. It eventually was picked up there by Fitzgerald. His kick was smothered. Great tackle though on Chris Gowans, who got the interception, and eventually the ball falls out there to the young player in Surgeon. He's been a little bit quiet today, perhaps not a good sign for his aspirations of playing AFL once again, and we find it's going to be Central's mopping up across the centre wing. It was Graham who got the hand pass out there in the direction of Hopwood. Hopwood now, another hand pass, comes out to Big Mackenzie. There's a little bit of a push and shove near the centre of the ground there between
Graham and Waterhouse.
It was quite
reminiscent of the rodeo, the way they were carrying on out there.
Well, it was quite funny because they were sort of having this, it was sort of a wrestling match, and the ball came toward the two of them and they weren't quite sure what to do, Bowen.
Yeah, well, if you can't win the game, win the fight.
Yeah, it's almost like that, isn't it? There was the ball up. Centrals will come away again. This boy's played well, hasn't he? Nathan Steinburner went with the hand pass, got it out there to Taylor. Taylor, the youngster, in towards centre half forward, but a good strong mark is taken by Ivan Marriage. He looks all right, this lad. He's on the Crows list. He stands about 200 centimetres tall. Across to Ross Funk now, down towards half forward, and Tony Browder's taken the mark. A centering kick will find Clive Waterhouse, 49 metres out from goal. He'll kick from 52 metres, and you've got to say he's a chance for this one. And he's certainly been one of the better players for Port Magpies today. How have you rated his game, Bowen Lockwood?
I think he's been fantastic. He had a lot of opportunity early and he capitalised on a lot of it. Fell out the game a little bit through no fault of his own, but I think he's been one of the shining lights for their team.
Probably he and Jeremy Clayton, and maybe to a lesser degree there's been a couple of the younger players, Fitzgerald, maybe Marriage in patches.
There's been patches of other players. Tony Brown also have put their hand up at certain times, but yeah, the standouts for me are the Clayton and Waterhouse.
Waterhouse now to line up, 52 metres out from goal. The Centrals choir are in action again.
He's on the barrel.
He's gone for the screw punt. What a kick, isn't it? Good to see it. And rarely do you get applauded for kicking a ball, a Port player kicking a ball, and get applauded by the Central supporters. But the reason he got it is that it went through for a minor score. So there we go. 19-14, 128 Centrals on the Crazy John scoreboard. Port Magpies 9-7-61. John Nankerville.
As officer from right half back kicks the ball to the wing where James Gowans marks it. His brother love kicking around corners. The thing to do as much as they can. He goes short and finds Quentin Graham at half forward. He kicks inside 50. Handball over the top there by Shell. Only went as far as Port Adelaide. Lees gave it to Jakes. He kicks up towards half back where the mark's taken there by Surgeon. And the Central fans giving it to him. He gets it back in the 1-2, and from left half back, kicks into the middle of the ground, bouncing football. Going to be Cochran getting there first for the Dogs. To the bandage one, Tyson Hay. He kicks up towards half forward, bouncing ball. Steinburner takes it on the bounce, eludes one tackler there. Stays with him though, that player in Morrison. Steinburner, it was a good kick. Up towards Shell, juggled the mark, couldn't bring it in. Steaming out there was Elstone. Goes with a right foot kick under pressure. Not a good kick, and it will bounce just inside the line, nearly out of bounds on the full. Play continues. Hay in there, trying to get a handball out, nothing doing. Morrison goes in. Hopwood tackles him. Morrison drags it in. That should be holding the ball. That really should be. He's dragged it in. It's happened a couple of times. I don't like to criticise the umpires, but on 2 occasions now the footy's been dragged in and no free kick given. In fact, on this occasion, Doug, it's gone the other way.
It's gone the other way. So the free kick to be taken here by Morrison, the boy from Queensland. Looks here for Waterhouse. Got up in front. Mackenzie from behind. Thumped it away. Comes back to Mackenzie. Big kick into centre half forward. Here's a chance for the Doggies once again. Cowan was the target. He couldn't get it. One of the Gowans boys has got it. This is Chris. Immaculate disposal. This is champagne football. Graham has kicked the goal. You won't see any better anywhere than that. Chris Gowans absolutely superb, and Clinton Graham finishing it off. He was going full pace and he just had to put the arms out, took the mark, kicked the goal. Centrals have kicked their 20th, and I reckon that when you kick 20 goals, it's like scoring 200 in cricket.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it. The Gowans boys, they both played great. I call them the postman because they always deliver, and they certainly did then.
It's 20 goals, 14 to Central's 134. Port Magpies 9-7-61. The Crazy John scoreboard. 19 minutes of the quarter gone. We'll go around the grounds again real soon. But John Nankivell take over.
Back in the middle, no clear winner in the ruck. The ball comes away of Cochrane. He was good to James Gowans. His kick was smothered off the boot after he grubbed it along the ground, but he wants another opportunity. Gets out a handball this time. Michael Taylor streaming through, couldn't pick it up. James Gowans still going. Applied the tackle to Fitzgerald, but he managed to get a handball to Morrison, then got it back in the old 1-2. Kicks up towards half forward. Punched away from Stevens, though. Very strong punch of the ball by Ian Simonella, and there'll be a throw-in right in front of us here in the live commentary box as the boundary umpire prepares to bring the footy back into play. Doug Oakley.
The action now with this boundary umpire. I think he's got... Yes, he does have a little bit of a rinse in his hair. I was just checking just for a moment. He's actually got a lot of hair too. He's got a very, my young son Timothy. They often comment when you go to the hairdresser. Anyway, the action is back now with Port Magpies and Ross Funk now to bring the ball down towards half forward. Up goes Waterhouse. He couldn't take the mark. It's taken by Matty Slade. Went with a hand pass across to the bandaged one in Tyson Hay. He went with a hand pass to McCabe. McCabe, wonderful football across to Slade again. Slade went with the hand pass out to Hay, out in front of our broadcast point on the centre wing. A lot of possessions, but they're under enormous pressure. And Bello now. Marco Bello went with the kick down towards half forward, and a falling Luke Coward has taken the mark there. 65 metres or 60 metres out from goal. It's a big, big kick. Here's one for the Leapers up from behind. It's a mark. I think it's a Port mark, and a good mark too, deep in defence. And the boy taking it down there is Ross Funk, and we'll make that one a contender for the Mr. Clip mark of the day, and also a Golden Grove Auto Pro courageous play, the way he just stood there with all the pressure. Okay, the action is down now with the Port players. We'll go for an update around the grounds in just a few moments, and Port Magpies are going to go forward. See if you can stay with it, John, and then we'll go around the grounds.
Kick inside 50 there for Port Adelaide, thumped away by Central, comes to the ground, officer picks it up, he falls over, gives a handball out to his teammate Hay, who ran past it in the end. Coming through, picking it up, Slattery. He was well tackled there by the Central District youngster in Taylor, and now Hay gives it over top to Symes, and Central have a chance to get the ball back into their forward line. Hopwood takes the mark, big sweeping handball over the top to Quentin Graham. He goes short from centre half forward, and coming out and takes the mark on diving out, sliding out on his knees. It was Daniel Shell. He takes the mark 40 out, pretty much straight in front. Probably kicked from right on 50 when he boots it, but he hasn't had a great day today. 4 behinds. You'd have to think that he's a chance to perhaps kick this one of the... Will the distance trouble him, Bowen?
Well, maybe if he aims for the points, he might kick a goal.
It's been a bit like that, hasn't it? He's really struggled today. He comes in, 4 points to his name. That's a floater of a kick, and it's floated across the face and through for 1 behind. He's 5th behind, Central's 15th. They go to 20-15, 135, Port 9-7-61. 22 minutes gone almost, and it's time to go around the grounds thanks to National Wireless two-way radios. Here's Ben Pittman at Prospect Oval.
14 minutes into the final term, and it's the Roosters up by 47 points. North Adelaide 16 goals, 8, 104, leading Sturt 7 goals, 15, 57 by a margin of 47 points. Now I'll throw it down to Brady Dowell for evidence.
Yeah, thanks, Benny. 26.5 minute mark here at Thibby, and it's just about good night, nurse. Woodville West Torrens, 20 goals, 11, 131, leading West Adelaide, 9 goals, 5, 59. So a lead to Westies by 72 points. A lead to the Eagles by 72 points. Here's Gav in the studio with an update from Noarlunga.
Yes, thank you, Brady. With the game of the round, looks like it's down at Noarlunga, 22-minute mark, and it's only 2 points in favour of the Panthers. 11 goals, 10-76 South Adelaide. Glenelg, 10 goals, 14-74. Just repeating, Panthers by 2 points in the dying minutes back at Elizabeth.
23 minutes of the quarter gone here at Elizabeth. Umpire Tim Pfeiffer says it's mine. He's going to ball it up. It's on the attacking side of centre so far as the Bulldogs are concerned, even more so now because Mackenzie got the tap out in the direction of Chris Gowans, who's been simply magnificent today. And look at that hand pass, came out, lightning reflexes, picked up by Matty Slade, kicks the ball high in there, up they go. There's a good mark, a Port Adelaide mark, deep in defence, and big Jeremy Jakes, who's been pretty impressive in this last quarter. Umpire may have paid a free actually, and it's going to be Mark Clayton bringing the ball out of defence. Now Mark Clayton I rate as one of the best kicks in the SANFL, and that is a beautiful looking kick down towards the the wing. Up went the pack. Rock Harry from behind. Couldn't take the mark. It's going to be Centrals, though. Come away. Steinberger's got the ball. He's about 70, 80 metres out from goal. Will this be the mark of the round? Up goes Daniel Shell. He got the leap. A couple of players fell in front of him. Cowan was one of them. He seems to be holding his hand. A kick for goal by Luke McCabe has hit the post, though. And Luke Cowan just seemed to be holding his hand there. But let's check the scoreboard. 24 minutes of the quarter gone. Central District 2016 136. Leading Port Magpies 9-7-61. A further comment from Bowen Lockwood.
Yeah, well, Centrals are really nailing them into the ground now. So Luke McCabe probably got a little bit tricky there, but he is a tricky player, but sometimes it doesn't pay off.
Fitzgerald had the footy at half-back for Port Adelaide. Kicks towards the wing. Stopped down by about 3 Centrals players, and they get it now. Slade to Graham to Officer as the Centrals chant starts up. In full voice, the Centrals choir, as Doug Oakley called them earlier. Graham's kick wasn't a great one. Picked up by Chris Gowans, however. Kicks to centre-half foot with the marks taken there by Bradley Symes, who's been quite good today for the Dogs. His handball over the top found Hopwood, who indeed goes short inside 15, and the marks by Shell. Now, he's putting about 45 out on a reasonably severe angle. Tucked away in the right forward pocket. He's kicked 5 points today. No goals. 2016, 136 to score at the 25-minute mark for Central. 9-7-61 Port Adelaide. And Daniel Shell is probably, despite the fact that his side's going to win and win well, I think he may want to forget this day in terms of his kicking as he comes in. Kicks from about 52 metres. Doesn't look bad off the boot. It's going to drift across the face. And I think that's gone through for another behind. It has.
There he is. He's 6 points. That's one goal.
That's a goal. You're right, Bowen. You're spot on. We'll give him a goal. No, we don't mean to have a go. 2017, 137. Port 9-7-61. 25 gone final term. And gee, you'd feel pretty disappointed if you were Daniel Shell, Bowen.
He sure would. He's let himself down a little bit with his kicking, but he's got, he's been getting the touches, so good on him.
Jeremy Clayton got the ball, got it out to Tony Brown, who in turn gets it across in the direction of a team up. They've lost it again. It's one of the Gowans boys. I think it was Chris. Magnificent hand pass, and Luke McCabe has kicked his 4th goal for the afternoon. Wow.
I think one of the things you notice with the Gowans boys that separate them from other players is their second and third efforts. They're just relentless, and their second and third efforts are second to none.
Their skills under pressure, too, are enormous, aren't they?
Yeah, they really have that presence and that balance and that coolness in a crisis.
Even if you get hammered by them, they are an absolute joy to watch. Now, having said that, of course, every Port Magpie supporter saying they're not very good to watch today. Let's check the scoreboard again for Crazy Johns. It is Central District 21-17, 143. Port Magpies 9-7-61. We had a magnificent first half in this game. It's been just wonderful watching Centrals, but Port Magpies have just been beaten by... And there's the siren. The final siren. 26 and a half minutes in the final quarter. And Central District have won this match comprehensively.
You Dogs.
Whoa. You Dogs. You've heard it before, Bowen. Do you know the song?